Offices in Baton Rouge.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Tuesday, April 25th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 79. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of OTB Mailbag at 8 a.m., and Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football joins the show at 9 a.m. to talk Saints. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in. OTB. T-Bob, Mari, Taylor hanging out with you. Jake will be here in a bit as he's doing some dad stuff. Taylor, you can actually come over to this shot right here until Jake gets in here. Doing some dad stuff today, though, this morning at least. But he will be in here. We got a really good show planned for you. It's a bit of an odd show where, I don't know that there's any massive lead story here locally, but there's a lot of very interesting things, right? I think what happened in the SEC in baseball over the weekend is pretty shocking in a lot of ways. A lot of insane results that have massive implications, the rankings and everything else that will affect LSU when you look at some of the teams that they're looking at. I think the college football news cycle coming out of spring is popping off right now in a lot of different ways. So you got Brodie Miller coming up a bit later on in the show. There's some news out there that the Saints could potentially be trading up in the draft. I know. Yes, I know. Stop me if you've heard that one before. We'll get there with Nick Underhill a bit later on. The NBA playoffs are rolling right along, and Jimmy Butler remains absolutely incredible at playoff basketball. I look up, and to be granted, I haven't been like Taylor, you said you've been watching all of it, right? Have you been locked in or yes?
For the most part, yeah.
Was it you? So okay. And then Mario, I know you're watching every night. You're locked in. I haven't been super locked in, so I was a bit shocked this morning when I'm going through getting ready for the show, and I look up, and all of a sudden, Butler's dropping 56, and the Heat have a 3-1 lead on the Bucks. And then of course it didn't. Now, one thing that isn't escapable is LeBron and the Lakers now up 3-1 on the Memphis Grizzlies as more and more, it looks like, unfortunately, all those Lakers dreams that we hope to shatter appear to be coming true. Now, if you're talking about the biggest story maybe in football, it's not local, but the Aaron Rodgers deal finally gets done. It had some wild implications in terms of if you look at the odds for both teams, what it does for the outlook of those teams. That move that's kind of been hanging out in the air gets done here on Draft Week. Oh, and it is Draft Week, okay? So this is our final chance to talk to Nick Underhill about what the New Orleans Saints will potentially do. So like I said, man, a lot of interesting things to get to on today's show, and we're going to run the gamut over the next 3 hours. So if you want to hang out, youtube.com/1045ESPN is where you can come chat with us. And we got OTB Mailbag in hour number 2, so you can ask us whatever is on your mind. And let's have ourselves a time. I want to start, though, like I said, I feel a bit weird because, again, I don't know, there's not much of a lead story to this necessarily, except I want to start looking at this SEC baseball weekend and kind of discussing what Jay Johnson had to say after the Ole Miss baseball sweep, as it was a fantastic week for LSU. I didn't realize this. It was the first time that the Tigers have swept in Oxford since 1996. A couple other little nuggets that Coach Johnson kind of flexed on during the press conference. LSU has not lost 2 games in a row this year. I don't know how many of us have appreciated or realized that. They're also undefeated in one-run games, okay? So this is a team that finds a way to win in the tough matchups, and you saw that once again in Sunday, finding a way to get that series. Now, speaking of tough matchups, they're going to have a tough one tonight as the Nichols Colonels are coming to town. And Nichols right now currently winning the Southland Conference, swept over the weekend, winning a run game on Sunday themselves. So it's going to be a big one in the box. And look, again, like all of these midweeks. Now, I'm excited to talk to Coach Johnson this Thursday and get him to expound on this a bit, because during the presser, he spoke on how they've been treating these midweek games like a tournament setting. And I don't know exactly how they're doing it, but that this one is an elimination game, essentially. And so it's trying to find ways to kind of get guys really locked in and treat every single game like a playoff game, which is a mantra that they abide by. So then the question becomes, okay, well, who's going to step up on the mound, right? And you know you're going to see Blake Money. You know you're going to see Thatcher Hurd. And you'll see kind of the regular cast of crew, and it's who can do the best and then set themselves up to get those opportunities that will be available on the weekend. So, look, I bring up a lot of this simply to say that LSU is by far the most consistent team and the best team in the SEC. And previous to this last weekend, maybe there was some argument that could have been made in that regard, but it was a wild weekend in SEC baseball. The Tennessee Volunteers, who entered the weekend at 5-10, swept a Vanderbilt team that was looking like they were potentially the best in the entire SEC. They outscored Vandy 31-9 over the weekend. They hit 8 home runs. If you missed that Friday night game, they're down 3-1 in the ninth. They get 2 solo shots in the ninth to tie it up. In the 12th, they get the walk-off solo shot to win it, and then they go on to dominate the rest of the weekend. So it's like, okay, well, then all of a sudden you look up, Vanderbilt's dropped from 13-2 to 13-5, now second place in the East, whereas Tennessee from 5-10 to 8-10. And as we'll look at, Tennessee actually has a very easy remaining schedule, as they have run quite the gauntlet here as of late. So, like, be on the lookout for a potential launching pad for the Volunteers, which nobody wants to hear, but it could be true. They got Mississippi State and Lindsey Nelson this weekend. Maybe more shocking, like Tennessee sweeping Vanderbilt was maybe the biggest or most impressive. Maybe the most shocking series of the weekend. The Georgia Bulldogs swept Arkansas. Okay, this is a Georgia team that many people had kind of written off. But if you look at the last 3 weeks, they won a home series against Kentucky. They swept Arkansas at home, and then they lost a tough-fought rubber match at Florida. Okay, so the Bulldogs are hot right now. But Arkansas dropping 3 in a row now allows LSU to move into sole possession of first place in the West. They're down to 11-7 in conference, whereas the Tigers are 12-5. And again, just think about the consistency that we talked about with LSU. Have not lost 2 games in a row. And we got some of these other top 10 teams in the entire country being swept by unranked teams. South Carolina made their own statement, sweeping Florida. I mean, Ethan Petrie, the freshman from South Carolina, what more can you say about him? He homers in the first 2 games. He now has 20 home runs on the season. South Carolina looking like the second best team in the SEC, first in the East. There's a wild Auburn-Mississippi State series in which Auburn wins 3 one-run games. Alabama sweeps Mizzou. One thing to note here, A&M, Texas A&M, who again we kind of written off, they're getting hot right now. They go on the road and they win the series at Kentucky. They've now won their last 4 series in a row, and in the same token, Kentucky's kind of on the opposite side of that, as they've lost their last series, 11-7 down the SC after starting 8-1. So, as you can see, the weekend proved just how dangerous this league can be, right? Any team is capable of stinging you at any time, which again should call into sharp focus just how impressive the consistency of this LSU Tiger baseball team had been. I mean, Jay Johnson talked about it. Now, he talked about it with Dylan Cruz, but I would extend it to the entire team. He said, when asked about Cruz, he said, I just said, I just really hope that people appreciate what they're witnessing, right? Because it may never come along again. And maybe the latter part there is arguably a bit hyperbolic for this LSU baseball team, but really appreciate what you're witnessing, because it is not, it just doesn't happen. When you have a team that this deep into the year has been ranked number one all year long, has the best pitcher in the entire country and kind of unquestionably the best pitcher, has the best hitter and five-tool player in the entire country, also unquestionable, hasn't lost back-to-back games, and is undefeated in one-run games. I mean, this team has fight, it has grit, it has team buy-in, right? Jay has a quote where the saying they really want to hammer home to their players, right? Always place the needs of the team above your own. And in the age, and this is not hard to understand, I feel a bit like an old man saying this, but in the age of transfer portal and name, image, and likeness, there's never been a harder time to place the team needs above your own, because you could literally be financially losing out by not focusing on your own needs, right? Like Hayden Travinski could have gone elsewhere. He could have started elsewhere, maybe laid a little money elsewhere. And so it's harder and harder to achieve that, and yet this is an LSU team that appears to have that buy-in. Like, how frustrated would you be if you were Travinski, you're a four-year player, you've played a ton of baseball, and all of a sudden you're kind of having to watch from afar, and it's through no fault of your own. You're injured throughout the fall. It costs you, right? I mean, in an uber competitive roster, being injured in the offseason is absolutely brutal. So you're trying to set yourself up for play, right? But with your team down to its last strike, needing some magic, the ability to sweep this team in Oxford again for the first time since 1996, Travinski comes up with the big moment. Doesn't let any of the frustration, doesn't let any of the personal setbacks. He does it for the team. And you see that buy-in again on this squad. So again, as I always say, just appreciate what you are witnessing with this LSU baseball team, because it's special, it's fun, and I think tonight's actually going to be a really good midweek matchup with this Nichols team that, again, first place in the South End right now, coming hot off of a sweep. All right, when we get back here on OTB, we can talk a little bit about the Saints potentially trading up. Got some college football news as well. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
One man who appreciates and supports this LSU baseball team is Gordon McKernan. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys. Get Gordon and get it done. Cruz, Morgan, many of your favorite LSU players on the G team, right? The squad of NIL superstars that Gordon is amassing. That includes the entire women's basketball team, Coach Mulkey. They all got it done. It's good enough for them. It's good enough for you. So if you need somebody who's going to fight for you the same way that your favorite teams are fighting right now to win championships, you want to get the G team. You can follow them on social media at Get Gordon. They got some really cool videos, content going up. The Grubbin with G series, probably my favorite, where you sit down with your favorite athlete to get them to really open up, right? So the number is 225-888-8888. Though, again, anywhere you are listening in the state, just put in the area code 888-8888. Get Gordon, get it done.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-
Jimmy out and Mike Delicano for the Tuesday evening edition of Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers. We're at Mike Anderson's on Lee, just off of Nicholson. That's Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers, 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Feel just like a kite, one without a string, one that is floating around. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. Like a bird, but one without a home, one that is floating over endless oceans, empty horizons, no rest inside. What does it mean?
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Keep this playing for a second, Mar. You keep it up for a second. Good morning, everyone. I feel bad. A lot of chat. I just opened it up. Everybody's like, morning. Brandon Shutt says, morning to you, Bob. How are you? Doing well. Really good. Sleeping great. Figuring things out. We're on the quest to fix the titties, and we're getting there. It's a day-by-day journey. Like we said yesterday, doesn't matter what we've done up to this point. All that matters is what we're going to do tomorrow. And unlike Danny, now we got Taylor on board with the push-up train. Hell yeah. How many are you doing each break? 20?
Yeah.
There we go, boys.
Knocking them out.
Jared Roach says, who will be RB1? I'm guessing he's talking about LSU. I would imagine to be Josh Williams, right? He certainly has positioned himself. He had the best year last year. I think the eternal conversation with running back at LSU is, well, John Emery probably still has the most talent, the kind of biggest big play potential, but there's just a lack of consistency there where I cannot grant him the rank of RB1 status. My Not For It says, when I opened YouTube, my computer, the first video was about Louisiana's most prolific serial killer. Then a show with Mario comes on. That's it's the algorithm. It is insane how deeply the math figures this out sometimes. There have been multiple times here recently where I feel like I've gotten things put in front of my face that I didn't know that I wanted, that I immediately got into, or like right after I thought about something, and it's, I've like double checked. Okay, I didn't type anything, I didn't say anything to anybody, but like right after I think about something, all of a sudden it's hitting me. It's and I don't think that. Look, I'm not saying that's like any like magic or anything. That's just them having countless terabytes and reams of human data from which to pull and to figure out kind of how we move and how we think. I don't know where this is going right now.
Creepiness.
T-Bob, whatever you're part. Jake's going to be here. He is doing some dad stuff this morning. He will be here a bit later on. Bilbo T. Baggins saying Jimmy Butler is Hemi Butler. That's pretty solid right there. You two think about this, and I'm going to come back to you in a little bit. What's your most shocking development of the NBA playoffs thus far? Right now, though, I want to wrap up the LSU baseball conversation. We've been looking at a lot of combined records, kind of prove what a good schedule LSU baseball has had. Well, Mark Etheridge, who does these weekend write-ups on D1 baseball for the SC, does a great job. And he took each team, looked at their opponent's combined SEC record, but then he took out the games that they actually played against the opponents. Which you do think is key, right? Because it takes that influence out of the numbers and lets you know just how they have fared when they haven't squared off with your team. And right now, I mean, I got to say, look, Georgia's played the hardest. Tennessee right after them. Mizzou right after them. And then right there. And basically, I mean, we're talking about 2 and 3 game differences, so pretty negligible. But LSU and South Carolina combined opponent records of 50 and 40 for both, right? And then obviously we know that's a series that got split 1-1, and these are two teams that are atop the East and the West. So just know this South Carolina team is legitimate. They've not played an easy schedule. They've played nearly, objectively. Objectively, they have played the exact same level of competition as you have, and the results are very similar. Now, what I love is if you look at the record of the remaining opponents that you have left to play, LSU's sitting pretty right now, as their combined opponent record for the teams left in the schedule 29 and 43 in conference. Like we said, this latter half is shaping up to be significantly easier than the first half. This is where you have to stack wins, stack sweeps, and you did that. Passed the test with flying colors in week number 1, thanks to some magic from our guy Hayden Travinsky. So great job by Jay Johnson and crew. Cannot wait for tonight's game, see maybe who shines in midweek, which arms you can maybe move into the weekend, and then really excited to talk to Coach Jay on Thursday. Hey, we do want to remind you, Dreams Come True Radiothon is rolling right along, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and the Baton Rouge Clinic bring you the Dreams Come True Radiothon. Dreams Come True is an organization designed to help grant dreams for children with life-threatening illnesses and their families. The Dreams Come True Radiothon is presented today by the Baton Rouge Men's Clinic. You can donate right now today at 1045ESPN.com. And check this out. Every $5 donated is an entry into the raffle, and that includes an Aaron and Austin Nola autographed bat, ball, and picture. We got a Justin Jefferson autographed LSU helmet, a Justin and Jamar Chase framed wall print, a 3-day, 2-night stay where you get to go to the CMA Music Festival in Nashville, Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th. We also have a concert ticket package to see Thomas Rhett, Shinedown, Zach Bryan, Depeche Mode, Guns N' Roses, and Hardy. So that is all there. You could support a great cause and maybe even get a little lucky and win some prize yourself. Go donate to Dreams Come True, 1045ESPN.com. Thank you to the Baton Rouge Men's Clinic. Okay, give me your most shocking NBA takeaways and we'll get to the Saints.
All right, sure. I think both of the series that are 3-1 right now that the games took place last night, very surprising. I did not expect the Bucks to be down 3-1 to the Heat. Like, I expected the Heat to maybe, give them a run for their money and be in this series, like play better relative than they did in the regular season. But I'm kind of shocked that it's 3-1 right now. And yes, Jimmy's been really good the last couple of years in Miami, but what we saw last night was unbelievable. Something I'd never seen from him, even in a playoff setting. So that's surprising. And I know the Lakers were playing really well, but I have to say I'm a little disappointed in Memphis. I know Ja's dealing with the injury, but for them to be down 3-1 right now, all the theatrics with Dylan Brooks that we talked about yesterday, they're a major disappointment. So I would say either one of those series are my biggest surprises right now.
I mean, it's one of those situations in which, and real quick on the Giannis or on the Bucks, like I know Giannis missed game they won, right? Game 2, but he's been back, right? I'm not being dumb, and
he's been back, and Bam Adebayo deserves a lot of credit for how he defended him last night. Like Jimmy's going to get all the credit, which he should get most of the credit, but Adebayo, who kind of underachieved relative to the last couple of seasons when he was really good, Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He's kind of picked it up in this series, and he's been big time for Miami too.
Do y'all feel like it's fair to say that some of the immaturity of the Grizzlies that has been a talking point throughout the season, not just Ja, right? Although a lot of it does center around him, right? But like you had Steven Adams and other vets during the year, I feel like talking about how, when we go on the road, guys aren't really taking care of their business. We kind of got to lock it in a little more. And then you're going against LeBron James now, who you could say whatever you want about LeBron, diva. So like you could say whatever you want. The one thing you really cannot say is that he doesn't do everything he can to succeed, right? Like he has engineered every single piece of his life to being at his physical peak when he needs to be, right? And you are absolutely seeing that right now in the playoffs.
For sure. I think Darvin Ham deserves a lot of credit too, like more than he's getting. LeBron's been awesome. He's been really efficient these playoffs, which he deserves a lot of credit for. But they've really utilized the rest of their players. Like we've talked a lot about Austin Reeves. He's had a really good season.
Yeah, for sure.
Jared Vanderbilt coming over in the trade has been a little underrated in my opinion. And D'Angelo Russell has given him a big lift.
Yeah.
Like I know Russell Westbrook's been good with the Clippers too, but Russell's a much better fit, like as a facilitator for what the Lakers want to do. So yeah, LeBron deserves a lot of credit. Unibrow boys playing well too, but they're playing good team ball, and I feel like their head coach deserves a little bit more credit.
That's fair. That I don't disagree because managing the personality of LeBron has to be one of the toughest aspects in all of that. But again, at the same time, it's like those other guys deserve credit. But I'm not even just talking about LeBron's play. Like the numbers are what they are. I'm just talking about setting the tone, setting the example, and just showing that here at 38 years old, he could still stare down someone half his age who tried to punk him and say, the old lion knocking down the young cub. Not quite yet. Taylor, do you have anything that Mario didn't mention that you find to be shocking in this NBA playoffs?
Yeah, I do. The first one we talked about right after the show yesterday, the very poor play of Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland. He shot 30%, 28% in the first round. Darius Garland's carrying that team, and Mitchell was supposed to be that guy. He had a lot of good play when he was with the Utah Jazz in the playoffs. He's been bad. My second one is De'Aaron Fox for the opposite reason. He is balling out this playoffs. He's averaging like 32 points a game in the first round. Carrying the Kings right now. He's playing well because this is his first playoff, so he's doing really well.
Yeah, I feel like we got Pelicans De'Aaron Fox. I don't know. I feel like I've seen De'Aaron Fox drop 30 or 40 every single time you square up with Sacramento. So this is just because I generally view the NBA just through the Pelicans lens. So for me, I hear that I'm like, yeah, that's De'Aaron Fox. Like I don't even know what he does other nights. So the Kings it's got to hurt to be that close to 3-1 and now be tied 2 games apiece.
And now De'Aaron Fox with the injury too. We'll see if he tries to play through it, but he would have to do so with a cast on his shooting hand, which would be tough.
They said he was doubtful for Game 5
I feel like he's going to try to play through it just because of the reasons y'all are saying. Like the Kings finally in the playoffs, he's been so efficient. Like I feel like he's going to try to be out there. It's just, is it more detrimental? Is it more beneficial? But maybe as a facilitator, not shooting as much, I wouldn't be shocked if he tried to push through it.
Should also mention, speaking of injuries, I didn't update Tommy White. Sounds like Tommy White's going to be good to go from last week. And Jay calling it a day-to-day thing. I don't know if you would see him tonight. I do know that it's not something where if he's good to go, that they're going to sit him just out of caution. Jay was very clear about that, right? He said it's hard to foster that every game is a playoff game attitude if you don't, if you're going to be doing things like load management and like sitting guys. So if Tommy White doesn't play, that means that his body's not feeling up to it today, but it's nothing too serious as I expect him to be back this weekend for the Tigers. All right, when we get back, let's talk a little New Orleans Saints draft week, and there are rumors swirling. The Saints could be trading up. Imagine that. More OTB. Oh, wait, real quick. Do want to remind you to go check out Accutemp of Baton Rouge. AccutempBR.com, your AC heating and electrical experts. Okay, if you don't believe me, because I get it. I'm paid to advertise for AccuTemp. And although I hope we've established some modicum of trust here between you and I do understand if you're kind of rolling your eyes at all this. So go look at the online reviews, okay? Go look at the online reviews. See how in love people are with the customer service that they get from AccuTemp. Then recognize that AccuTemp saying is service to the highest degree. Yes, it's punny, right? But they live, they walk that talk, okay? And I've experienced it firsthand. I go to them all the time. Jake's a member of the Star Membership Club, which is a great flat rate membership fee where they come and they check out your system for free. You're not paying anything extra on top of it, and they make sure that you're good to go. You avoid any catastrophic big issues down the road. Also, right now, through the month of April, if you get that new AC install, you get a free premium clean air package. Really just clean everything out of the air in your house. It's $1,800 in value for free, okay? So the heat is coming. You're going to need that AC. And you're going to need AccuTemp of Baton Rouge. More RTB next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit Dreams Come True, the local organization that grants dreams to Louisiana kids suffering life-threatening illnesses and their families. We've interviewed these incredible kids, and their stories warm our hearts. And none of it would be possible without your help. So we're asking for your support in our effort to making more dreams come true. Each year, our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today, and thank you.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Join me for Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Glenn West talking Tigers. They get ready for Nicholls State. And Sharif Ishak on the Saints draft. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Like that, boom. NFL Draft Week is here. The boys just told me during break that Sean Payton's talking trash. What? And maybe my favorite part about it is, give me the trash that he talked, but maybe my favorite part about it is then that Mario, do I have these series of events correct here? Sean Payton talks trash. That makes you angry. And then so you start looking up the Sean Payton pill case from 2012 to get some sort of revenge story against Payton. Because you said you were Googling the Peyton Vitt indictment from back in the day.
Yes, I was having a little fun on Snapchat, you know. But yeah, he was talking yesterday about his first draft with the Broncos, and he said, quote, "The analytics department is something that is on a different level here. I'm like that driver of a new car that still hasn't figured out how to get the seat warmers on. It's pretty impressive, and it's new for me in a good way." All right, Sean Payton.
Yeah, okay. It's like, all right, cool, Sean. You're like, you were the one that decided to give up so much for Marcus Davenport and draft Peyton Turner. And also, the Broncos analytics part must be really good, right? It must be. I mean, they're a great franchise. I mean, traditionally, absolutely. They've made so many Super Bowls. They had that incredible streak where it's like they didn't have a losing season, or it was something along the lines of they made a Super Bowl every X amount of years. What I was shocked to learn today, though, despite that great analytics department, you mentioned it yesterday, Mario. The Jets now, with the longest playoff drought out of any team in the Big Four sports. If you look at the NFL alone, longest playoff drought of the Jets, right behind them, the Denver Broncos. Okay? 7 years. Where was the analytics department when they drafted Paxton Lynch? Okay? Like Drew Lock. Like, what are we? No. And I get it. Sean, I'm reacting like a jilted lover. He's in a new relationship. Of course, he's going to try to be positive about that new relationship, but I don't think it was analytics that made them trade up to get Marcus Davenport, right? It wasn't analytics that made them go after Peyton Turner. So
don't forget Ian Book with the 4th round pick.
I don't hate Ian Book 4th round. I don't want to poo-poo that because I'm okay with the idea of taking, and look, there's been a lot of good draft picks as well, obviously. Like, ever since Jeff Ireland came, he's been a much more consistent drafter. But I think we can still blame Sean for the Stanley Jean-Baptiste draft, which was the year before Ireland, and has to be. I mean, I don't know if this is actually true, but has to be one of the worst drafts of all time. Okay, can I get a class check on the Stanley Jean-Baptiste draft? Because it is mind-boggling in how aggressively bad it was. I mean, we're talking like a year later, nobody was left on the team. So whatever, they've had hits. What was I going to say about? Oh no, the Ian Book thing. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with taking quarterback flyers in later rounds. Like, I'm not saying you just go and blindly shoot, but once you get 4th round on, I'm kind of like, okay, if you hit a player, that's a big win. But I'm not necessarily expecting you to hit on those picks. Top 2, you want to find starters. 3rd, ideally contributor starters. But afterwards, it's kind of a crapshoot.
Fair enough. You ready for this All-Star 2014?
Yes. So it's 2014. Okay, yes. So this is after you lose to the Seahawks in 2013 when they were prime Legion of Boom. Wow, oh my God, boys.
Marcus Coulson threw the ball forward.
No, I know. I'm saying, but boys, that's 10 years ago. Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez, I don't. Whew, that's a little too real. That's like the stat from the other day that Millie came out 15 years ago Sunday. All right, we're going to keep moving. So 10 years ago, and this is also the offseason in which you got rid of Darren Sproles, you got rid of Malcolm Jenkins. Like you went all in on Jairus Byrd.
Ooh.
A Sean Payton decision.
Which they paid him big money,
yes,
too.
they gave him a massive contract, and it was a Sean Payton
What he like
decision.
the highest paid safety in the league that year or something?
Because I remember the story went back then that after losing twice to the Seahawks team, he became infatuated with their makeup. He wanted to try to recreate the Legion of Boom. Earl the Pearl Thomas was the key to the boom, and he thought that Jairus Byrd could be his own Earl Thomas. And remember, Rob Ryan was good at the time. They were a great defense that year, and then Sean made him change everything. The entire philosophy, they gutted the roster, and, well, it ended up falling apart who came in next? Brandon Browner. He was trying to do a Legion of Boom thing. All right, give me the 2014 New Orleans Saints draft.
So the number 20 pick, they took Brandon Cooks. 58, Stanley Jean Baptiste, however you pronounce it. Then they took Kari Fort, 126, 167th pick. They took Vinny Sinceri from Alabama.
God, dude.
Then they rounded out the draft with Ronald Powell at 169 and Tavon Rooks at 202.
God, I remember trying to talk myself into Tavon Rooks, the undrafted tackle out of Kansas State. He didn't even have a picture when he got drafted.
He was just like the gray silhouette that they always use. Yeah,
dude. Yes, I was like, oh my God, dude.
Man, now that we kind of go back in time here, I'm really thinking this offseason almost killed the Sean Payton, Drew Brees era. Like this was the start of the 3 losing seasons, the 3 straight 7-9s, and then you had the 2017 draft and you got back on track. But this was a really, really bad offseason.
Yeah, Jeff Ireland saved Sean Payton from himself. When Jeff Ireland came in, he significantly changed the Saints drafting woes. Now, one thing is Mickey Loomis still loves to trade up, and I don't think that's going anywhere. As the report, where'd it go? I had it. Oh yeah, the report from Albert Breer, and I love it. Jake wrote, "Oh, for F's sake," here in the document. That is his commentary on the story. But Albert Breer from Sports Illustrated reported yesterday that, quote, "Saints are one of a few teams who could trade up in the first round. Along with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Kansas City Chiefs," Breer wrote, "I'd put the Saints in that category as well, with their history being that they identify guys and aren't afraid to make moves up for them." Last year they went for Chris Olave, even if it costs them future capital. Now, I should say that it doesn't necessarily mean that the Saints will, or that even has a lead that they will, but he is saying that obviously Mickey Loomis and the leadership, they have no qualms about trading up. And they appear to be as well positioned as any team to do so. Also, with Drake May and Caleb Williams and all these other big-time guys in the ether for 2024, I think you're going to find a lot of partners who don't mind amassing some sort of draft capital. He would go on to say, you kind of speculate, wait, hold on here it is. As far as potential partners, the New England Patriots at 14, the Commanders at 16, and the Vikings at 23. All that's missing is the Eagles, but we'll see where it ends up going. I don't know, man. Look, I've always been a guy where I've like talent evaluation so hard and so hit or miss that I've kind of been a never trade up sort of guy, which granted, maybe isn't the best because you'd have missed out on guys like Alvin Kamara. You'd have missed out on Chris Olave last year. So I've kind of been a never trade up guy. I've always been more of a trade back and just throw everything against the wall. But just get it right. I mean, you just got to get it right. You just narrow your margin for error. You got to get it right, because when you miss on a Marcus Davenport, you see what an incredible source of frustration it becomes, and just a bad use of resources over time. So I hope not. I hope they don't trade up, but what if they trade up and get somebody awesome? Then I'll be like, oh, that was all the changes. Yeah, so screw you, Sean Payton, is the actual point of all this. And watch out, you're on Mario's radar, okay? He's already trying to tear down your reputation. Next thing is to be tearing off your skin. It's dry in Colorado, too, so your skin's probably very paper-like at this point. It just flake away after all your years down here in the heat and the humidity of a real place to live. All right, when we get back, let's close out hour number 1 of OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota. Oh, you can see those big hands entering right there. We got our guy Jake Hester back here in studio. And we're back talking about All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. I love the website .com. Is a great place to start because you can find your next Toyota. You can actually order right there from the site, like whatever custom vehicle you want. You can check out the incredible deals they got going on where there's like buy 3 tires, get one for free. The great deals for military members, for recent graduates. It's all there for you. You can chat with service and sales representatives right there also. I mean, it's so great, man. My dear mother accidentally left my car running over the weekend. She's an electric vehicle now, and she forgot how like normal vehicles work. And battery complete, blah, blah. It was so easy. Got it towed to All-Star, dropped off. I don't lift a finger. Fixed yesterday, picked up, and we're back on the road. That's the type of service you get from All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $15,000 off all new 2022 1500 SCA trucks. And all new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR. LSU and Nicholls at the box. We're previewing the game. We'll continue our SEC spring recaps, counting you down to the NFL draft. Join us 3 to 6, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Hey, welcome back. OTB closing out. Out number 1. Jake's back. What's up, dude?
Hello, sir. How are you?
How was the morning getting the boys to school?
It was, asking a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Like I told you, boys, where's the uniforms at? Boys, how do y'all make y'all's lunch? Boys, which way does mom take to school here?
Yeah.
First time I've taken them we've been doing this for over 2 years, 2.5 years. So it's been a long time.
A long time, bub.
Yeah. So shout out to all the moms and dads out there that carpool and take the kids to school.
We've talked a lot of baseball this far. We just talked the Saints potentially moving up. I know you're not a fan of it. Now, to be clear, the Albert Breer doesn't say that he thinks they are, just that they are as well positioned as any team too.
He had them last year, T, and I thought I included it. I guess I didn't. In February of last year, so 2 months before the draft, he kind of had a same style article like, hey, here in the Saints, maybe interested in moving in, could be a situation, blah, 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 whatever. And obviously they did.
If they move up, who do they move up for? I mean, we'll ask Nick. We'll talk about it later on.
Yeah, that's going to be the question.
Got to be one of them D linemen, right?
I think you can get value at defensive tackle at 29. Is it Dalton Kincaid? Is it tight end?
I don't know.
Because the defensive tackle
You're the
position.
draft guy. I don't know. You tell me.
The defensive tackle position. Well, it just depends on trying to figure out what the Saints are going to do in a draft. Like even a draft person would struggle with that.
That's true.
I mean, if Jalen Carter fell because of the off the field stuff, and he's there at 9, 10, 11.
There's no way. There is no way Jalen Carter would be available at 9, 10, 11.
Well,
You think?
You just never know what teams and how much information they have. And obviously, again, like when someone has to come home from the combine to turn himself in, right, wrong, or indifferent, that's going to be a red flag for teams. So maybe if you're talking defensive tackle is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, for sure. It is one of those weird situations, though. If like Jalen Carter falls to 9 or 10, it's ridiculous from a talent standpoint that he would be there. But then are you scared enough to be the one to go all in when so like does it scare you at all to be the one to go all in when everybody else is like what information do they have that is making them not take this player who should very clearly go top 3 if he's still available at 9 or 10? I can't even go there. That's too much thinking. My brain's about to short out. The craziest thing that I saw yesterday, Jake, maybe you can explain this to me, is that Will Levis is now the odds-on favorite to go 2.
Minus 130.
He's at minus odds to go 2 overall. Is that the Texans fall in love with him? Is there a trade partner in the mix? What am I missing here?
I don't know. I think a lot of us are missing it because he's somebody that when I look at people that I really trust, mock drafts, it's between 7 and 11. It's kind of been the range that I've seen him lately. I haven't seen him move up on anybody else's board outside of Vegas, but obviously those big buildings didn't build themselves. We all built those big buildings, and so 2, it just sounds crazy. There's some real value. Like you can get Will Anderson, I think plus 500 to be the 3rd pick to the Cardinals, who don't need a quarterback. Now trades, obviously, it's not a team; it's the slot, so a team can trade in to 3. But I wouldn't put a single dollar on Will Levis going number 2 overall.
No, I mean that's why it's so sketchy.
There's no juice to it, and it's like, where did this come from?
That's why it's so sketchy. It's what do the oracles of the desert out west? What do they know? I don't know. We'll find out Thursday. We'll talk to Nick Underhill in hour 3 about the New Orleans Saints kickoff hour 3 in our normal Tuesday spot. We got Brodie Miller coming at 8:15 to do a little spring game recap. A lot of talk about Prime, Coach Prime, in the chat right there. And make no mistake, we're going to get to Coach Prime later in the show. My quick thought here is the transfer numbers feel really extreme on paper, but didn't Dion tell us this was going to be the case from literally day one when he said, I'm bringing my own bags with me? And by bags, he meant players, as they've had like 30 Jackson State guys come. Like he's been telling you that they're going to completely remake this roster. So We'll go more in depth in it a bit later on.
Yeah, the numbers are staggering. When you see them out there laid out, you're right. Like, it's hard to deny them and who's come in, who's come out, because the numbers in both lead the country of players coming in and players coming out.
Yeah, it is the complete roster overhaul that he promised. He's going to get some players who are more. And here's the other thing. People seem almost to be pearl clutching over a 1-11 team, losing a lot of the players who went 1-11. Like, it can't be worse. Like, you can overreach all you want to use it against Prime, but I don't know. I think he's doing the right thing. More in hour 2. Keep it locked.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com. Told you my wife was going to go in and get better. She has done so. Okay, and if you're not feeling good, you should do so as well. There are Patient Pluses throughout the city. You create that digital profile. The facilities are just second to none, y'all. The rooms are so spacious, so private. They got the best technology in there for all the COVID cold testing, like anything that you need. Patient Plus is, and then, of course, what is it without the doctors and nurse practitioners who are top notch as well. Hey, if you need occupational medicine needs, go check out the Mid-City location. Guarantee it's going to be the best med spot you've ever been to. Patient Plus Urgent Care.
Yeah, there's going to be a location near you in the Baton Rouge area. They're all about convenience, and no matter what we're talking about here, they're going to be convenient. You're going to be in, you're going to be out. Again, I mentioned locations are going to be close to you. You can also book that appointment online at patientplusuc.com right there in the top right corner. Patient Plus, get in and get back.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Tuesday, April 25th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 74. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of OTB Mailbag as we take your questions. And Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football joins the show at 9 a.m. to talk Saints. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. We got a little OTB mailbag coming up right now. So I'm going to talk for about a minute here. And you can go ahead and get your questions in. We got Brodie Miller coming up next. I had to ban Michael for 5 minutes in the chat as he called Duke Ellington a terrible rejoin. Look, I gave him a chance to appeal it. And he didn't respond. So I'm like the justice system, man, except I move fast, okay? You got to, when I say you can appeal it, you got to state your case. So, Michael, we'll look forward to welcoming you back in 5 minutes, but you're going to have to take a little break for now. We got Jake back. I do want to talk Prime this hour. We're going to talk probably a ton of college football this hour. We got to talk about Aaron and the Jets. You know, there's a little rejoin for you coming up a little later.
Does Aaron and Benny sound alike?
Syllabically, yes.
I know.
2 syllables.
I'll give you a chance to.
I mean, what else than you do your Aaron Rodgers Jets thing?
I don't have one.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Sometimes if you don't have one, you just got to go a different direction.
T-Bob and the Jets. Any 2 syllables works. Okay. Jacob and the Jets. See, Mario. Nope, doesn't work. See? 2 syllables. And that's it.
Jacob.
Yeah, I just did Jacob.
I know, I'm going over.
Jacob and the Jets actually sounds pretty good.
Alliteration.
Yeah, exactly. The alliterative factor there with the double J's works nicely. All right. We filled time. Let's dive in to a little OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Hashtag OTB mailbag. What's your favorite dish to make with leftovers from a crawfish boil? Crawfish etouffee, crawfish fettuccine, after the boil soup. What's after the boil soup? That sounds delicious. Whatever after the boil soup.
I had it for the first time this year.
What
so
is
you peel a couple crawfish tails, put the sausage and everything in it, and you make use cream of mushroom, and you make a crawfish sausage corn, like a bisque almost.
Yeah.
First time I had it was this year. Really good.
Oh, yeah. I think I like it. The problem is that would require a single sausage link surviving the boil, which I don't know when the last time I've got done and there's no sausage link left.
We bought extra sausage and threw it in there after the fact. But we did have corn cob, a few potatoes, and crawfish
potatoes always make it through.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say, Chef Johnson put us on this years ago, Jake, but the crawfish boiled potato salad.
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite. And you can even throw some crawfish in that if you want afterwards. So, give me crawfish.
Yes, sign me up for that.
Potato salad.
It's been too long. I'm getting crawfish this weekend.
I've been getting them almost every Sunday. The weather's been so spectacular, dude.
It's been like 3 weeks. I need to get back in on that.
Probably another reason for the man boobs. Hashtag OTB mailbag is T-Bob an unfair God. No, that's paradoxical as since I am God, I can be neither fair nor unfair because I determine the ethical and moral parameters by which we operate. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Would T-Bob win a wet t-shirt contest at Prop Shop? I prefer my wet t-shirt contest at Mango Deck. Thank you very much. Down there in Cabo. I would have had a good chance on Saturday, Jake. If it had rained.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
Watch out.
White shirt.
Watch out.
Situation we saw.
Yeah.
Nobody else would have had a white shirt on, wouldn't have had a lot of competitors.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Why is T-Bob looking like the Michelin man with that white shirt? Chill out, Zach. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Did Jake listen to the show in carpool this morning?
Of course I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I got in. We get right in the car because I was told we get right in the car at 7. So we're in the car at 7.
Hell yeah.
Turn on the show, and that's how I heard. And I was telling y'all during the break, y'all were talking NBA, and Mario was talking about the Grizzlies, and he said, I'm disappointed in Memphis. And I have a son named Memphis who's in the car listening, and he whips his head around and looks at me like, wait, what? What did Mario just say? And I was like, the Grizzlies, baby. The
Memphis
Grizzlies.
sucks.
Yeah, he's like, I'm disappointed in the Grizzlies. And he's like,
He's immature.
So, yeah.
Get it to grow up, Memphis. How about that? Hashtag OTB mailbag. Mandalorian season rankings. And he says 2, 1, 3. I can agree with 2, 1, 3. Though to me, 2, it should be 2, ... and then 1 and 3 or 3 and 1. I don't care. I both love seasons 1 and seasons 3, but season 2 was a magnum opus. But I like all 3. And I think season 3 was fantastic. So I kind of disagree with the intimation there that it was not, or it wasn't on par somehow with the rest of the show. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Best Kevin Bacon movie. Footloose, A Few Good Men, Apollo 13, or Animal House?
My favorite movie that he's in, he's not the lead character, is probably JFK. But, got some great movies. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. I can turn on Footloose, and wherever it's at, I'm probably going to finish it. Just a fun movie. Not a lot of thinking goes into Footloose. You're just there to have a good time.
I've seen Footloose through, like, when you're a little kid and it's like, they're playing parts on Superstation and you see like different parts. Like, I think I've seen the whole movie, but
Tell me you're from Atlanta without telling me calling TBS a Superstation.
It is a Superstation.
I know. That's what everybody from Atlanta calls it.
I would say Tremors. Tremors is my favorite Kevin Bacon movie. If you're talking about the Kevin Bacon movie that I've actually watched the most, I'm not giving Kevin Bacon Animal House. I know he's in it, right? But I'm not giving him that as a Kevin Bacon movie. Hashtag OTB mailbag. 3D printed Christmas present request for the crew. Ooh, I'd have to think on that. I could definitely come up with some gaming stuff or something.
A neck roll.
Okay, that's so stupid. A plastic neck roll.
Yeah, and put it in my office.
That's okay. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, so your gaming one's not stupid. I didn't gatekeep your gaming.
No, it's not stupid. Mine's gonna be functional. I'm saying like I could get like a little container to hold some cards or like game pieces or something like that for a board game.
No, I got an office that I like having stuff displayed in my office.
Your neck roll is a pure affectation. At that point, why not buy a natural neck roll or get like who's like
You don't know what I'm going to use my neck roll for.
I'm saying you should get like a figure, like somebody you love with a neck roll 3D printed on it. Like get like a little action figure, even yourself. With like a neck roll
let's get who's the best neck roll wearer? I mean, I know Tom Rathman wore a neck roll with the 49ers. That's a pretty hard one to beat. Larry Zonka, I think, for a time had a neck roll. I mean, Allstott had like the new age neck roll that was true like rolled.
Is Van Der Esch the best of the
neck roll wearers? Douglas collars does not fit the grid of a neck roll. Douglas collars you're trying to look bigger in your pads like every high school white linebacker did.
But everybody does in high school. There's nothing wrong with that. I did that, absolutely. You got to look big.
You wore a neck roll as a center?
Yeah,
like the
bro.
Douglas collar?
No, not Douglas collar, but a neck roll.
Oh, yeah, neck roll,
good.
good.
My neck was swimming in space. I mean, it just looked like a little toothpick sticking out of a black hole. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What tastes better than skinny feels?
Nothing.
I have a few.
Nah.
When you get the perfect crawfish boil bite where it's tail, piece of garlic, suck the head, and then maybe add a little sausage on top. When you have a shrimp and steak fajita with a little butter sauce, little onions, little peppers, little guac, little lettuce, sour cream,
Whoa. Ready for that answer.
Just a delicious bite of fried chicken.
Yeah. My answer is probably a little more open-ended. I'll just go cheese. Anything that has good melted cheese. Cheese fries, a potato skin, dipping your burger in your cheese fries if you really want to live that day.
I was gonna say hot pizza, so I'm sort of with you on that.
Oh, delicious! Just
Yeah,
like
like a hot
great
pizza.
Another cheesy item.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever had a potato skin that I like.
Never crave pizza.
That's wild. I don't know that I've ever had a potato skin that I've really thought was good though. Like potato skins feel like kind of garbage to me.
Got to bring you to the newly reopened ground patty.
Okay, I was gonna say if somebody has a good potato skin recommendation, I am down to try it because I guess I'm just thinking about your kind of chain American restaurants.
I got you. Next time you're in NOLA, next time you do Storyland, hit me up. We'll get a potato skin.
There used to be a place in Bossier City on Barksdale, right by the Air Force Base, called Teddy Bears. And it had some legit potato skins.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm always open to be proven wrong. Yeah. They've always just been kind of bland when I've had them. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Nick Cage versus Kevin Bacon. I mean, are we kidding, guys? Come on.
Nick Cage.
Which I really want to see Renfeld. When's it come out?
It's out.
How's it?
It's actually done. It's done well.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
We should go watch it. Hashtag O2B mailbag. Predict LSU running back yardage production this year for each player.
Good luck.
Josh Williams, 700 yards. Emory 5.
Noah Cain, 350
with 12 touchdowns.
With 12 touchdowns.
I know from Cutting Sound yesterday, Brian Kelly said that he thinks some people are sleeping on Noah Cain. Apparently, he had a really good spring.
He did look good. His body did look like it changed a little bit. Talking with Jake Flint before the game, it's just you're going to have if Emory's there, you're going to have 3 guys for sure, and then Armani Goodwin just been plagued with injuries his entire career. I'm not sure what his health is going to be. Missed spring here. Trey Holly, we saw him featured in the spring game, so I think you're going to have a ton of backs. So I would be shocked if you have a back close to 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you don't have production from that position, but I would still be shocked. 2006 is probably what you're going to get. I think I led the team with like 450, and we had like 6 others that were like in that
You led with 450?
Yeah, we were in that range.
Hashtag OTB mailbag.
Could be wrong.
I'm trying to find because
Here we go. I got
one more.
real quick. I'll tell you
one.
how close it was. I had 440. Keelan had 436. Allie had 281. JV had 210. Jamarcus had 142. Charles Scott had 277, and Trenton Holiday had 172.
Damn, what? We had a lot of running backs produced, but all our guys were like at 700 yards. We had like 4 guys all way up there. Ryan Brack, I love this. Speaking of fat bites. At a crawfish boil yesterday, someone brought canes, garlic, smashed on a tender, and dipped in cane sauce. Was excellent. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that makes me a little randy, baby.
that sounds fantastic. You know me too, though. Garlic, and get all behind some garlic.
Garlic's the best. It's the absolute best. Hashtag O2B mailbag. If you gave your wife a trophy for all that she does for you, what image is on top of the trophy?
Cool.
Carefully.
My wife in a Superwoman costume. I mean, T-Bob knows this. Like, there's a lot that I'm able to get done because my wife is the goat wife.
I think it's my wife on her knees getting the shot.
Getting the shot.
Getting the shot. Getting the picture. You boys chill out back there, okay? You guys relax. I know what you thought. But no, just working her ass off, getting the shot. What about you?
So this will sound a little cliche and sexist, but it's not.
Oh, jeez.
I was going to say.
It's going to be like making a sandwich.
I was going to say,
Taylor?
well, a picture of a kitchen. And here's why.
Oh, my
God.
God.
She really enjoys like baking things, and she's really good at it.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do.
How about instead of a picture of a kitchen, we get her in like an apron with like
Yeah,
a tray
you
full
could-
of
yeah,
cookies
either
or something?
one.
Okay.
Either one.
Something a little bit better than what you said.
Wow.
Anything but what
she-
you actually
She
said.
enjoys like all that stuff. Like she loves doing it. So
Mara, what about you?
Probably something to do with the heart. I always feel the love for my girlfriend. So maybe her with like a big heart in the background or something.
Lame. All right.
I'm sorry, not as romantic.
I feel like I'm the only one that gave a bad answer.
Except,
I mean, I just feel bad because like when I'm working is like literally the worst times to be a parent. Drop off and pick up from school between my 2 shows.
Wait, what happened? Sorry,
I'm saying like the worst time, like so I'm 7 to 10, and then obviously 2 to 5. It's like the worst time to be working for a parent because it's pick up, it's drop off, it's practice, it's homework.
It's brutal.
Sorry about that.
It's absolutely brutal. Shout out to all the wives and husbands who, all the teams out there.
Ooh, Taylor, what an answer.
A picture of a kitchen.
God.
Not even her covered in dough with flour, delicious, like a rolling pin and delicious cookies or treats.
Look,
just a picture of a sterile kitchen.
It's
Unbelievable.
It's more broad.
Wow.
Now you're calling her a broad?
What?
What are you doing?
Dude, this is the year of our Lord 2023.
We gotta go to break.
My
This is out of
God.
control. Go to break. Brodie Miller
Off the
next.
bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Somebody clip that and send it to Taylor's wife. How about you clip this and you remember to go to the Advanced Eye Center. Specifically, remember to sign up for the Advanced Eye Center's sports training vision therapy camps. Okay, they're going down this summer. You can find them on Facebook. It's for grades 3 through 6, 7 through 12. And I guarantee you don't actually realize, the different, just how your vision works, right? And the many different areas in which you can test your vision and figure out where you're weak, where you're strong, or B, just how much it is limiting your athletic potential. Okay, so if you want to be the best you that you can be, go to Louisiana's only accredited sports vision therapy center in the entire state. Dr. Zhang's been at this for 40 years, y'all. Advanced Eye Center.
Remember, they can help you. Like if you have a problem, if it's depth perception, whatever it is, they can help you get better. That's what this is all about. Find them online, advancedeyecenter.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Not only did she tell us, but this young lady, stand up. And this young lady
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated.
Jimmy out and Mike Delicano for the Tuesday evening edition of Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers. We're at Mike Anderson's on Lee, just off of Nicholson. That's Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers, 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
You know, Mario, maybe if you weren't so worried about giving bad answers about what you do for your girlfriend's trophy, you could remember the Brodie song. There we go. Yeah.
I am.
Bring it up.
Look, after what happened to Tottenham over the weekend, this is a real one for Brodie to show up here, still be on the show, and be willing to talk to anyone.
Oh, I mean, Brodie doesn't really care. That's it. Like, you really care about Everton. You're one of the few people that I actually grant that status to. Most of these EPL guys don't actually care. They just want something to seem interesting and to feel like they have something to do on Saturday mornings. Brodie, are you at all torn up by Tottenham getting absolutely embarrassed over the weekend?
Very. I mean, well, embarrassed in the sense that, like, who knows, because it's Tottenham and we're always kind of ready for this. But no, I think you're wrong on this. Like, I actually feel pretty confident saying there's, like, and maybe to your point, like, I'm a reporter, like, the fandom's been sucked out of so many other sports. There's nothing in sports I care more about than Tottenham. Like, nothing. Like, last year's run in the Champions League, the most I have, like, gotten into and just like cared about a result in anything in the last like 10 years of my sports watching career. I wake up at 6 a.m. Yep. I pull up the computer like at something I'm covering at 2 p.m. Like it is my obsession. So I appreciate you having me on to talk about it. But two, should I be taking it as a shot that not just was the Brodie song not there, which is fine, but then it's filled in with crazy? Like, is that what? Like, is that?
No.
That is the most like filler song that we have, Brodie. Mario just disrespecting you from every angle.
I love that song.
It's one of my favorite songs. It's okay, but
it's a filler here.
Should I look?
My first psilocybin experience is intrinsically tied into that song. That old Inkblot music video. Who could ever forget it? Shout out CeeLo. He looks so funny. He's such a funny looking human being. All right, then, Brodie, put it to the test. Would you take a Tottenham title, finish at the top of the table, or the Sixers winning the finals?
Okay, so 5 years ago, the answer would have been, like, without a single doubt, the Sixers. Like, the Sixers was my, like, going through the process was my favorite, like, sports thing for a while. No, the answer is Tottenham because just, like, this is literally the club that is known for not winning titles. It is the biggest, like, I'm trying to think of a good, like, college football comp. Maybe Georgia, I was going to say Georgia before they finally won a title, but, like, not even that, because, like, they're one of the six biggest, but they're just truly known as the one that can't win anything.
Texas A&M.
They never will win anything. Like, so
but
I think
not like one of the six biggest. I think Georgia kind of plays.
But
right?
Texas A&M, when you're talking about like the resources and what they haven't won one since Elvis was in diapers.
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
Texas A&M could work because it's like there's an element of like they could be really good, but like they're just. So much of it's just ineptly run. I don't think it's a terrible. And there's a similar like eagerness to like make fun of A&M the way there is with Tottenham. So there's some comps. It's not perfect, but it plays.
Everybody's accused me of being jealous. I'm just a hater, dude. I just don't believe that y'all like these teams as much as you pretend like you do. I feel like
I think y'all
are desperate to seem interesting.
T-Bob.
This is your insecurity about not being part of something.
Jake. I didn't say you, Jake.
Okay.
I didn't say you, Jake.
I mean, when you wake up at the times that we do for EPL, you're in.
I'm already up on Saturdays,
I watch
boys.
like German soccer every morning to like one, for other reasons we won't have to talk about, but two, just like two.
That sounded like vaguely insidious or sexual.
Look, the men sees, he might have a better two on the Bundesliga.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a second, I
also
thought you wanted
to research.
Go ahead.
I watch like Udinese games in Italy because we have a guy on loan, a left wing back, Destiny Udoge, who I want to watch. No, like it's an obsession.
Okay. And you do love Football Manager, correct?
Yes, he does.
deeply. Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe I'll put you in Jake's category. Although I just don't know that I believe that you have the bandwidth to manage all of these fandoms.
But it's number one. Like, it's not even close.
You do have. Oh, by the way, boys, Brodie, I got to ask you about this. One of your coworkers, before you get into LSU spring game, Ari Wasserman, now firmly a part of the Corn Hub. Did you see his quote? I think it was on the Andy Sable Show or on one of the podcasts. Maybe it was even on Football Grits. I'm not entirely sure. But did you see Ari when he said that if you look at Nebraska, they've continued to stack top 25 recruiting classes. It's just that the development has been awful and kind of finding guys that fit like your culture, team, et cetera, and saying that if Matt Rule can fix that aspect, the development sticking around, that he sees no reason why here just very soon Nebraska will be looking at 11-2. Cobb's up.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of layers there, right? Like, one, there's obviously the easy thing to always make fun of the beloved Ari, of just how, like, he runs with any, like, hunch he has. It's like, I can't just say they're in good shape. I have to be like, they're going to win a title in 3 years. But I mean, that's always been it's the reason all of us were on Scott Frost. Like, you and I were both on them last year, T-Bob, I believe. Like, just like every year, you're like, but it's going to happen, right? They have all this talent. Like, they're going to remember, like, all the close games 2 years ago. It's going to even out. They're going to be great this year, and it just doesn't happen. Like, so I think at some point you do have to take a step back and, like, they do have this really talented team. It's easy to get wowed by, like, Eric Gilbert or all these pieces, but, like, it's a lot of pieces that I don't like. There's a lot of questions and things. But no, I'm a Matt Rule believer, man. Like, Matt Rule is one of the coaches I think LSU, Brian Kelly was the right hire, but LSU should have looked at last year. I mean, he's the dude. So if anyone could do it, I believe in Matt Rule.
Again, 100. We have 100 years of Nebraska being awesome versus 10 years of them sucking and 20 years of them being like, okay. Like,
well, okay, but there's reasons for that, right? It's like, much of that era, they were the big brand. They were one of the few teams that were ever going to be on national TV all the time. So you could still, like, recruit, and it was before everything was globalized. So you could recruit to some kid in Texas, and their parents would be like, you're going to be on national TV. They're going to be able to watch you. Now you can watch any game you want. Nebraska is now, there's no recruiting hotbed there. There's no, like, obvious things. So you're not winning those, like, the old Big 12 recruiting battles used to win and stuff. So they don't have, like, an obvious path to some good, say, like LSU does.
Well, no, but they you're right. They don't have the geographic advantages, but they can pay, and they've got buy-in. And I don't know the truth behind this, but I just tell myself that Warren Buffett's a big Nebraska guy, and so they got Warren Buffett money. I mean, look it up, okay, Brodie, and tell me it's not true. Hey, what were your main takeaways from the spring game on Saturday?
Yeah, I think honestly my biggest is just like, and I know it's a spring game and like you shouldn't overreact. We'll always preface that, but I just have a gut. Like, I came away from it thinking this front seven might just be genuinely special. Like, first off, they didn't have Mason Smith and Mekhi Wingo out there, but it's just, nor do they have Deshaun Womack. But you just watch. Like, I have a feeling this Perkins, Spates, also Penn linebacker crew with Wingo and Smith with Ovia Gofa, who I actually really like too. Like, I just love what I saw there. And people were so concerned about, like, moving Perkins away from the outside to the position that, by the way, he was always going to play. But, and just, like, watching him blow up blocking back from the backfield to set up another sack, or, like, kind of, like, slithering in between, like, on a run play to get a tackle for loss, like, jumping in between the backers at the goal line. I don't know. I just think he could be really special there. And watching him in Spates, where, like, Spates would cover the nickel sometimes Perkins did. Like, you could kind of, I mean, it's a spring game, not showing anything, but still, like, you can just see this kind of, like, malleability kind of going on there of, like, these two just super freak athletes there mixed with a really good D-line. I came away from it like, all right, I think I buy this defense could be really good.
Brodie, what about positions that maybe you still have some questions about? I know for me, and I don't know if it's a situation where LSU, who might have the best receiver room in the SEC, top 3 in the country, they had a lot of success. Now, you're looking for defensive backs. You've got a couple of transfer corners in, Denver Harris, J.K. Johnson, and others. Is that a position of concern considering what the receivers did, or do you think it's really more the story about the receivers?
Good. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, I think there's two answers there, because Saturday, I think that was a bit more the receivers. Like, I don't think you guys know football better than me. I don't think I left any of those being like, that corner got beat or that corner did poorly. Maybe I'm wrong, but still, like, yeah, corner is my number one question with this team, I think. Just because, I think we've talked about it so many times on here that, like, last year was this group of transfers, but it was, like, veterans and guys that you could kind of just plug and play. But this year, it's more talented, but there's a lot more young guys or guys with question marks or guys jumping from the FCS to the SEC. Like, it's a lot of upside, but a lot of, hey, man, that Florida State game might be a little tricky there, and so on. So I think that is a fair question. And Sage Ryan, I feel like I don't want to pile on him because I know I talked about it in my piece for The Athletic today, but, like, I don't think he's really ever made good on all the hype around him coming out of high school. Is Taviano going to really push him there? So, I'm with you, though. I think corner is my number one concern by far.
Well, Terrence Welsh, though, was somebody, and look, he was highly rated coming out of high school, but he shined to me in the spring game. It didn't really matter who he was going against. He seemed to continue to make plays. Is that someone, because, Brodie, obviously you had a chance to see more spring practice than we did. It's a morning practice. Did he show up in practice, or was it just a spring game situation?
Yeah, I've consistently heard, like, positive things about him. I think the only preface I'd say is, like, he looked awesome in the spring game, but it was also like he was going up against the second team guys, and I think he was kind of in, like, situations to make better plays. I don't know, that might be ignorant, but still, no. I mean, he's somebody that, Kelly shouted him out after. He did consistently kind of look good throughout the spring to coaches and things like that. He's definitely a guy. Like, I don't think he's not somebody who has no shot, but I still would assume he's probably, like, fourth on that pecking order if I had to, just chuck up a guess right now, because as much as Denver Harris is second team, and as much as Kelly is not going to hand him anything, considering his background and need to prove it, like, I still think at the end of the day, Denver Harris probably rises up there a bit. Dude, Chestnut comes back. That's a big thing. He was the man in the spring. I would be surprised if Welch is like a starter, but no, he's a guy that I think by next year or so could be a really good player.
Brodie, maybe the biggest question of the offseason to me was simply, could Jaden Daniels grow to the point where he could take advantage of what he has in that receiver room? And spring games are weird. They're very easy mentally, right? So they're not really truly representative of what you're going to be presented with at game day or how defenses are going to look to challenge you. But in what you saw in all of spring, like in what you've heard and who you've talked to, do you believe that Daniels can take that step, that very obvious step that we all kind of see like is the final missing piece of his game?
There is a lot of optimism around them about that. Just that, like, hey, like, the extra time with the receivers, the extra time with the staff, the comfort stuff that you saw in the late second half of that season. Yeah, there's a lot of optimism about that. I just always kind of cushion a bit with, though, like, it's so easy for us, I think, all to be like, like we saw what Burrow did in year 2 after transfer. Burrow's on a fair comp, but we see that a good bit. The only thing I'd say against that is just like, those were guys who hadn't played for like 3 years, and that first year, so much of it was like Burroughs talked about it, and Jimmy talked about it a lot. Like, it was relearning to play football at a real level again. And then in year 2, it was like, all right, I'm comfortable. I know these guys. Let's do it. Daniels, that's all true, but like we have 4 years of watching him play, so it's like, I don't know if we should expect some massive leap or anything like that. Like, to some extent we have the data set, and I think I've talked with you guys about that before, but no, they're confident. I mean, they've done a lot of like really cool, like virtual reality stuff and like really good kind of smart sports science stuff to kind of keep improving his retention, improving his, IQ and all those things. So there's optimism. He added some weight. I just don't think we should expect him to like go out there and just be a superstar.
Brodie, we've got another transfer portal window that's open for 5 more days. Do you expect LSU to dive into that portal? And if they do, what position do you expect?
Yeah, I think the two I would most likely look at are, certainly we've all talked about safety depth, but it's always just tricky to like, how much does a guy want to come to a school and just like sign up? He went to the portal for a reason and then sign up to be a depth. It's always like a part that always I think gets left out in this, but still, I think they would love another body in that secondary. And then offensive line, I don't think it's like a massive concern. They're going to get all the freshmen in the summer. They added Mason Lunsford. He arrives this summer. They're going to be fine there. But, they offered guys about a week ago. They're always looking for more help on the offensive line. So I think that's the other one. I'd be surprised if there's any others, but it's LSU. I never know what they're going to do. And the obvious thing to follow is just making sure Garrett Nussmeier does not enter the portal in the next 5 days. Yeah.
By the way, Warren Buffett, massive Cornhusker fan. for his entire life, for decades
From
upon
Omaha,
decades.
right?
Yes, the Omaha Oracle. Now, granted, it is not on record. Like, he does not donate under his name. There's an idea out there that he could maybe be donating autonomously. But when asked about his favorite player back in the 2010 USA Today article, he says, I go back to the Rose Bowl team in 1941.
Naturally.
Mentioning Johnny
That's a good
Rodgers.
answer.
Okay, so he has been on Nebraska for nearly 100 years now. But to prove maybe just how tough it is to try to predict the future, here's what he had to say in 2010. Quote, Bo Pelini has got it. Devaney and Osborne could have been two more different guys, but they could both rally their teams in different ways, and Bo Pelini is the same way.
Well, he was winning.
I guess he was winning, though. I guess to be fair, he was
Bo
winning.
Pelini did a very good job. He went to like the conference title game every year. Let's hope for it.
Shout out, hey, Warren. Like, that's what, if Matt Rule can actually get Warren to open up the 50 bill, then it's a game over, dude. Let's go.
Can I just say, though, like, as somebody, we all deal with crazy fan bases quite often. Like, the whole, like, no, I think he's using a different name to put his money in. Like, that is the most, like, fan base, like, conspiracy theory. Like, no, we got Buffett. I think he's involved. He just doesn't want people to know about it. That's some serious stuff right there.
Yeah, man. Look, I mean, how about a little less money to, like, the medical center, okay, and a little more money to recruiting? Let's try to win some games, okay? Get back to where we
Warren
are.
Buffett's a very shrewd man. He wouldn't put it toward a low percentage bet like a high school recruit.
No. Not en masse, though. On the, you got to spread. You got to diversify your portfolio, okay? You spread it amongst a bunch of high school recruits, and in the end, you get the return that you're looking for. Come on, Brody.
Isn't he
Buy
also
low,
the one who's
sell
like
high.
didn't leave it? He's not leaving any for his kids because he wants them to earn it. So I just love the idea of his kids being like, so none for me, but that right guard out of Lincoln, huh? And I feel like that would be a really tough family dynamic.
He's just giving money to the collective. Okay, he's not paying the players directly. Get out of here. That's absurd. Warren Buffett, get it together, man. Join the Corn Hub. All right, Brody. Hey, look, you're welcome to join the Corn Hub as well. I'm just gonna need a little commitment out of you. Okay, T-Cobb and Husker are here. We can get you in here. Just let me know.
I got burned by Scott Frost, man.
Wow, you're a bum, dude. I love you though. Have a great day.
Have a good day, guys. Bye.
Later, Brodie Miller. Brodie A. Miller on Twitter. Right to the Athletic. Go check out his piece on Elstree Spring. In the Athletic, we're very long to break by.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu, iticollege.edu for 5 decades, 50 years, exactly 50 years. ITI has been around changing Louisiana citizens' lives for the better. And if you want to change your life, maybe you're feeling like you lack a little long-term vision, you're doing a job, you want a career, ITI can get you there. Remember, a 2022 Georgetown study found that ITI Technical College is the best investment you can make in the state, top 15 in the country for all schools, not just trade schools, all schools, in terms of what you pay versus what you will be expected to make in your career. So take advantage of it. It's right off Airline Highway. Celebrate 50 years with ITI Technical College.
Pick up the phone, give them a call today. This is going to be the number 4 admission, so you can talk with them. They're going to help you get to the finish line. That is their goal. They want to help you, and they certainly will. Right now, 225-267-8003. Always online, iticollege.edu, iticollege.edu.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit Dreams Come True, the local organization that grants dreams to Louisiana kids suffering life-threatening illnesses and their families. We've interviewed these incredible kids, and their stories warm our hearts. And none of it would be possible without your help. So we're asking for your support in our effort to making more dreams come true. Each year, our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today, and thank you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $15,000 off all new 2022 1500 SCA trucks. And all new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Ford has $2,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% APR for 84 months on new 22 Ford Expedition.
Hey, so join me for Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Glenn West talking Tigers. They get ready for Nicholls State. And Sharif Ishak on the Saints draft. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. These last couple of segments are going to be a little shorter, unfortunately, as we went long with mailbag and B-R-O-D-Y. Brodie. Aaron and the Jets. How about it, Jake? Aaron Rodgers done found his way finally to New York City, heading to Broadway, as the Packers agreed to Monday to a deal to send Aaron Rodgers to New York and their 2023 first-round pick, so the 15th overall pick, and a 2023 fifth-round pick. In return, they get New York's 13th pick, so a pick swap there, essentially, 15 to 13. They also get the Jets' 23 second-round pick, which is right behind the Saints at 42. And they'll get a 23 sixth-round pick. Now, the final, because if you hear that, you're like, it's actually it's not like a ton that the Jets gave up for this, especially when they're already so young anyway and talented. But here's, I think, probably where the most debate came in saying this last piece, as they have a conditional 2024 second-round pick that becomes a first if Aaron Rodgers plays 65% of the plays next season. So it's basically, ideally for the Jets, it is giving up 2 firsts and a second and a sixth. And in return, you're getting Rodgers a first and a fifth. There's a lot of numbers that you threw out. Sorry.
No, it is. But, Taylor, can you get that ESPN video clip ready? Because the reaction on NFL Live when Shefty actually broke it, because remember, they had the exchange where he texts Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers like, lose my number, but he's actually the one that gets to break the story on air. So at the end of the day, Shefty, he wins it.
Yeah.
I mean, he got a chance to break it.
Like, I don't know how you eventually get to that point, but the idea of an insider is so funny to me because they have the same agents as the players. So it's just their own agents just telling them the stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, you create these relationships, and like to be as good as he is, you have relationships in every single angle of what you're trying to cover there. But it was great whenever he actually broke the news. But kind of breaking down the trade, hey, if you're going to follow Brett Favre again, I guess, go to the Jets late in your career. But this is a different Jets team, Aaron Rodgers. They had the Rookie of the Year on both sides, as you mentioned a couple of times, T-Bob. And they have a young team, a hungry team, a team that, is getting like a guy like Breece Hall, who was fantastic when he was healthy. They're going to get him back. It's a team that has a real, it feels like certainly in their division, but a real opportunity to make a deep playoff run. The problem is you're in the AFC. And the AFC is just so stacked right now, but it certainly makes you better. Last year you had Joe Flacco, Mike White, Zach Wilson. That was what you were trying to work with. Now you have Aaron Rodgers, and if you play 65% of the games, the Packers get another first-round pick, so that's going to be big for them. But here is the video on ESPN whenever Shefty broke the news on NFL Live. Maybe.
Okay, boys. Whatever. We'll talk about it during the break. We got to go to break anyway. It's a good break, and when we get back, we can give you that video and we'll figure it out. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Donaldson Glass and Body. DGBauto.com is a great website. You can go chat with Kenny Frederick and get whatever you need done there. Donaldson Glass and Body since 1977, man. DG&B's been getting you right. Whether you need tires, wheels, glass, brakes, everything. Also been some day one supporters here on the morning show, even calling it OTB. Go to Donaldson Glass and Body today. And look, man, remember, free pickup and drop-off delivery on the collision repair. If you need 24/7 emergency towing, they got you. Just what about simple glass repair? It's all there for you at Donaldson Glass and Body.
DGBauto.com is the website. It truly is, like we tell you, a one-stop shop. No matter what you need, oil change, new tires, tire rotation, windshield replacement, repair, they've got you covered. Obviously, paint and body, they got you covered. They can do it all. DonaldSonGlassandBody.com, DGBauto.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring. Wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville, or NOLAFlooring.com.
The most valuable player probably is the unsung hero of the entire playoffs, LaDasia Williams. All my exes live in Texas. Texas girl from the Big H right here.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR. LSU and Nichols at the box. We're previewing the game. We'll continue our SEC spring recaps, counting you down to the NFL draft. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Closing hour number 2 here on OTB. Here is... What's going on with my voice? I don't know what's going on with my...
Drink.
Just here is Adam Schefter and the ESPN crew learning Aaron Rodgers trade.
Breaking news. Aaron Rodgers officially is being traded to the New York Jets. And it just came down moments ago in a trade involving 6 picks. Aaron Rodgers is going to the New York Jets. It's official. It is happening. Finally, after all this time, we've been waiting for this trade to happen, and now it is. And here are the details of the trade that just came down. The Jets are sending their first-round pick this year, their second-round pick this year. Well, hold on. Big swagoo, hold on. Their second-round pick next year, it's a conditional pick. They get back the Packers' first-round pick this year and a 5th-round pick, but the trade is coming down. Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Jet. It is official. The two sides are in agreement right now, and essentially here are the terms of the trade that I can give you exactly as it stands. The Jets, and again, this is in real time, so it's coming in. Aaron Rodgers, pick number 15 in the first round, a 2023 5th-round pick, number 170. The Packers get pick number 13, a 2023 second-round pick, number 42. The Jets' first-round pick, first pick in the second round. A 6th-round pick, number 207. A conditional 2024 second-round pick that becomes a 1 if Rodgers plays 65% of the plays this year. And so the trade that we've been waiting for finally has been agreed to. Aaron Rodgers is being sent to the Jets, and the Jets have a quarterback, and the Packers have extra draft capital and extra draft ammunition.
I feel like...
I felt like Shefty the other day when I was trying to let Taylor get the video ready for the Irish pub, and you called me out for saying Irish pub because I was trying to fill as much time as I could to help Taylor out.
Oh, no, it was Guinness, right? Or was
yeah, but
yeah.
You said say Irish pub one more time. I felt like Shefty was trying. It's happening after all this time. We've been waiting for this moment, and his thumbs are like, please, God, get me to what I need to see.
Well, the best part is he literally has the 2 phones in his hands, which, of course, Shefty has 2 phones. That makes all sense in the world. But did y'all notice he starts reading on his left-handed phone, and then when he gets into the further detail, he jumps over to his right-handed phone. So he quite literally had information coming in on both phones at once.
Yeah, the right phone's the bat phone. That's the real G. And then this one's just like the fluff.
That's my. That's how I want my. If my NFL insider doesn't have 2 phones at all times, you're fake.
Yep.
Like,
Shout out Kevin.
Here,
shout out Kevin Gates.
You're a bum. Shout out Aaron. Look, I think this is one of those weird. I think this is one of those weird deals where both sides are happy, right?
Yeah.
I don't feel like the Jets gave up too much. Like 2 firsts for an Aaron Rodgers that plans on playing into his 40s. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Especially because
he just won MVP in 20 and 21.
Yeah, and they got the Rookie of the Year on offense and defense. Did the receiver end up winning Rookie of the Year? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Garrett Wilson wins Rookie of the Year. Sauce Gardner's freaking awesome. You've been so crappy at quarterback. Like, this is all very worth it to me. And you still have a first-round pick this year. 2 spots behind. Like, okay, I love it.
Yeah, it's basically,
if I'm a New York Jet fan, I'm ecstatic right now. And it does kind of show you, Jake, to me a little bit, that for all of the Packers chest puffing, like, you know, they can only get so much.
Yeah. I mean, what his age is, what his contract is. You have a quarterback in place. They know that, right? So they know that you're not going to try to get as much as you can to move up to take a quarterback in this draft. And so your leverage wasn't great, but still a good deal, I think, for both teams. You're right. Everyone's happy.
Hour number 3 coming up next. Nick Underhill.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit Dreams Come True, the local organization that grants dreams to Louisiana kids suffering life-threatening illnesses and their families. We've interviewed these incredible kids, and their stories warm our hearts. And none of it would be possible without your help. So we're asking for your support in our effort to making more dreams come true. Each year, our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today, and thank you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Tuesday, April 25th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 74. Coming up on OTBOT, Nick Underhill of NewOrleans.football joins the show to talk Saints. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo. Weekly New Orleans Saints updates with Nick Underhill on OTB are brought to you by former LSU Tiger and attorney Chris Perrette.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Hour number 3. There are so many men on ESPN stations right now just standing here yelling at me. I don't know what's going on. They have a shot both going on and Get Up and First Take right now where it's like 15 guys just standing, staring at the camera, yelling. But I only care about one man who's sitting and staring at the camera, his beautiful blue eyes, and that is our guy, Nick Underhill, at Nick_Underhill. NewOrleans.football is the site. Nicky boy, what's going on, man? Thoughts and prayers. I know you got to be a bit upset here as mock draft season is finally coming to an end.
Oh, it's not over. We still got like 3 more days to do it. So yeah, there's more to come. Yeah, there's more to come, man. This is like the coup de grace of mock draft season. Like this is the penultimate moment of the final mock draft.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So that's big.
Love where your head's at, Nick. Absolutely. How many times will your pick for the Saints at 29 and or 40 change from, let's go back to Sunday night until Thursday around 5 p.m.?
I think I'm kind of locked in on one guy at this point. So I'm gonna say none. Yeah. I'm gonna go Brian Brzee, I think, in my last mock draft, and I'm gonna stick with him the rest of the way. He just kind of feels like the only guy on the defensive line that they might be able to get in that 29 range that is going to be able to come in and help right away. It's not a project. You know what you're getting. I like the fit. I would probably even maybe move up to like 20 for him if I had to. I just feel like they have to get somebody on the defensive line. And if you go, Miles Murphy might end up being a good player, some other guys like that. But, I just want to see them get somebody they can bring in that can play right away and contribute as a rookie. And it feels like Brzee might be the guy that's able to do that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Brzee kind of gets an unfair rap. I mean, think of all the things he had to go through off the field a year ago with his sister tragically passing away, and he had to miss some games, and he missed time away from his team, and then came back and tried to play like the next week. And obviously, I mean, that's going to weigh on you. I mean, you go back to the tape 2 years ago, and you see a bona fide first-round pick. I still think those traits are there, but last year, like the situation that he was in, Nick, it's hard to fault him for maybe not having the same type of year.
Yeah, and he had some injuries, too, that he battled through as well. So if you go back and you watch, and I was just watching him more yesterday, and it just kind of like clicked for me. I was like, this has to be the guy. This has to be the guy that they go after. There are a lot of good plays, and he's really good in the middle of the field. And that interior rush is hard to find, and he looks polished. And like you said, I think if you go back and you keep going back, there's just more and more and more quality that you come upon. And, you're looking at that range, and I haven't really been that excited about this draft because I haven't been able to get excited about anybody because it just felt like, well, they aren't going to be able to get anyone that they need that's going to immediately help, and maybe they'll get a decent player, but I don't know if it changes the fortunes this year. I think someone like Brzee might a little bit. I think he would really strengthen the defensive line, but whether it's interior or edge, they got to get somebody that can come in and give them interior, the number doesn't have to be that high. On the edge, maybe like 6-7 sacks. Like they're just missing something. If you can get a guy on the interior that gives you like 4 and consistent interior pressure and helps create for other players, I think that could be all the difference in the world for, a Carl Granderson. Maybe let him get into some easy plays. Maybe Peyton Turner get into some easy plays. I think Brzee, even if the numbers aren't necessarily all there compiled for him individually, his impact on that line, I think, would be pretty significant.
Yeah. That interior defensive line, I'm not talking to you, Nick. You obviously know this, but to expound on that for people listening, that interior defensive line, they do the dirty work. They're the setup guys in a lot of cases. If a quarterback cannot step up in the pocket, it becomes a million times easier for the end to turn pressures into sacks. Like, and I mean, just think about playing quarterback. It's just so tough to deal with wash and people in your face. It just disrupts everything. Is Trip, so look, New Orleans on Football is a site. It is so worth the subscription, y'all. I love how John O'Barnes put it in his video the other day. He was like, come on, you didn't think I was going to pick that? New Orleans on Football site. You think I paid for the site for no reason? Like, nah, I'm going with the boys. What about, is Mike Triplett agree with you on Brazil, or is he somewhere else?
Yeah, I think he does kind of agree on Brazil. I think maybe he even got to Brazil a little bit before me. He's kind of been, Tripp has been steadfast on it has to be interior defensive player. He doesn't want anything else at 29. And I kind of gave a little pushback on that, but like, I don't know, like we're kind of getting into those final hours. Maybe I should have respected my elders a little bit more and just followed in line with him on that one. But I don't disagree. I just think it needs to be a defensive player. And all things being equal, of course, like if you have the doomsday scenario where there's no one left and you have far and away an offensive player graded higher than everyone else, by all means, walk that path. But if you want me to lay out like the perfect draft manifesto, I think it's somebody that can help on the defensive line at 29 or higher in the first round. I'm not against trading up. If you get somebody that's a difference maker, you just can't miss if you do it. And then the other thing I would do, I'm not that worried about the offense. Like I would go trade for someone. Like if you can make a trade for, I don't know, Hunter Renfrow, that wouldn't be a bad outcome. Like getting somebody else on the offense another way. There's ways around it. If you have to give up one of those picks in the first 3 rounds, maybe to move up, or if you can go all defense those first 3, that's great. Like go get somebody else. I mean, there's guys out there that are still available that I think could help your offense a little bit, whether it's trade or signing. So there's other options there, but I just think that you have to make that investment in the defense, and especially on the defensive line. Like it's best to come through the draft. So however you got to do that. I know people hate trading picks. I'm never against it. I'm against it when it doesn't work. But one way or another, like you got to pay someone a ton of money, or you got to be aggressive in the draft to get your guys, because these players are not cheap on the defensive line. Like you just have to pay a lot of something, and that's going to come at the expense of something else. And if you want to be a team that signs Derek Carr and keeps trying to be good and keeps trying to make the playoffs, your options in the draft to improve your pass rush are always going to be restricted. So at some point, if you do have a Brazil and he is sitting there at 20 and you're feeling itchy about what other people might do, it's not a bad idea to go up and attack it and make sure you get your guy. Just it can't be a Marcus Davenport situation in that scenario. That guy has to help you consistently for at least the next 5 years.
All right, Nick, if this plays out this way, what would you give this draft grade? If you take Brian Brzee at 29, Darnell Washington at 40, and Tajay Spears at 71.
Oof.
I like it. I like that draft a lot.
Sounds like I think dream for sure.
It is. I might actually
where
go
they're rated though.
No, it is. It is. But I'm saying like me, I'm very I'm not draft agnostic, but I don't dive like fully in. Like to me, I'm like, hell yeah, dude. I mean, you get the D line, you get a giant freaking tight end, and then you get the running back that we all are in love with. That's a New Orleans hero. Yeah,
like throwing it up to Washington is like just throwing it at his chest, like just he's winning every jump ball. Like the dude is humongous. Yeah, I think he would be great in the red zone right away. I think probably a little bit of development there overall as far as being a pass catcher, but I think in those restricted areas of the field is where they needed a ton of help. I think he would change that right away. I love Spears' game. I think he's fantastic. I expect he's going to be great in the league. I just wonder if 3 is a little early for that. There's some stuff, I think with the knees that people are looking at a little bit. So we'll kind of see how his draft stock comes together. But if you're telling me that he's healthy and able and all that stuff, and he is right now, just, long-term, whatever they're seeing in that medical, if they're comfortable with it, I would love to take him at 71, not just for the player, but just also the story. Like it's a great story. He's easy to cheer for, fan favorite, all that stuff. But whether it's him or someone else, if you could go Brzee, Washington, running back in 3rd or 4th, like that would be a really, really good outcome. I'd like to see another defensive player somewhere in those first 4 picks. I just feel
forget defensive guys. Nobody cares about them.
I just feel so uncomfortable about like the front 7 depth overall. Like if a linebacker gets hurt, who's playing? Like there just needs to be something else in the pipeline, I think, there, and you could always add to that pass rush.
Yeah, who do you think's realistic? Sorry, T, to cut you off. Who do you think's realistic though in that front 7 at linebacker, maybe in the 3rd round? I mean, another Tulane player, Dorian Williams. I mean, he's kind of somewhere in like that 4th round range. Like, would you wait to the 4th round to get a player like that? Or would you maybe use that 3rd round pick? Because when you look at linebacker, after Jack Campbell and Drew Sanders, there is a little bit of a dip before you get to a guy like Trenton Simpson from Clemson.
Yeah, and then like Henley and Overshown from Texas. Like, there's a handful of guys that I think you can wait a bit and get someone that could come in, maybe be depth. Ivan Pace is out there. There's a handful of guys. The guy from Alabama, I think.
I don't know about him, Nick. I'm going to be honest with you. I watched him play for a long time. Avoids blocks, doesn't take things on, and that works even at the highest college level. You can get away with that. If you Olay blocks in the NFL, you're going to get exposed extremely fast.
More like Henry.
Yeah,
I don't
fair.
know. That's all. You can go. Y'all can keep going. That's all I. That's all I had to add.
Sometimes you just got to take the shots. But yeah, look, I think they can wait on linebacker, get some linebacker depth. I don't know if it's necessarily something you need to attack. If an opportunity exists and you want to do it early, great. But I just want to see somebody else in that pipeline that maybe you're trying to develop. That is one position that I think out of all of them, if you just kind of laid it out, the development at linebacker has been outstanding the last several years. Mike Hodges, I think, is someone that's going to probably be a defensive coordinator sooner than later, just based on his resume of bringing players up. So if you want to take advantage of that and just take a shot on someone 3rd, 4th round, I think it's fine to wait until them 5th. Even DeMarco Jackson's still on the team too, so maybe we're overlooking him a little bit. Just because he was I think he was on IR last year, but maybe he's ready to go too. But until you kind of see that production, it just kind of looks like a 2-man race with Werner and Demario Davis. And as great as Werner is, he's been hurt each of the last 2 years. So just one more guy at that position, I would feel much, much better about it.
Nick, I'm going to watch Draft Day this Wednesday to get ready for Thursday. So looking forward to that. I will report back to you. Real quick before I got another question, but real quick, what do y'all have coming up at the site this week? Like, how are you going to be covering the draft? Just let everybody know.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of write my draft manifesto, the stuff that they should be doing and the best outcomes and how they can attack it and what I think would be the best setup for the team. Just kind of, the ideal scenario. And then we'll have another mock draft. Mickey Loomis talks this week, so we'll have something on that. We'll have a podcast probably Wednesday or Thursday previewing the draft and film study after every pick, analysis after every pick, kind of taking you to the who and why and where of each thing that happened. And then starting May 1st, our podcast goes 3 days a week. We hired Brooke Kirchhoffer from WWL. She's going to host it. So a little different vibe, different look for us. And that's what we got going on.
Yeah, man. Very exciting stuff going on in New Orleans on football. New Orleans on football is the site. Sign up, man. There is not better Saints coverage in the ecosystem. Nick, I'll move away from the draft for a second. And I know you tend to approach these things more level-headedly than maybe we do. But Sean Payton, again, had some comments talking about how the Broncos analytics are light years ahead of where the New Orleans Saints are at. Now, it doesn't change the fact the Broncos have the second longest non-playoff streak in the NFL at 7 years now. They still drafted Paxton Lynch and everything else. But. What's your interpretation of those comments? Is this just trying to hype up the new spot? Are the Saints actually behind in this regard? How do you take those?
Well, I don't know what he said. I'm going to have to go look it up. But it's interesting because Sean hired everybody.
Exactly.
So,
that's what we said. Like Stanley Jean-Baptiste. Like that was Sean, like that, all that, like the pre-Ireland drafts, like going after Jarvis Bird and everything, all these things. Yeah. The analytics didn't help then, did it? Now I just sound like the old man yelling about analytics. Jesus, this is what breakups do to you.
I do know the guy that runs their department, Ryan Herman. He has been more involved in just kind of the stuff that's going on since Sean left. I think his role changed a little bit. So, I think everything operated in that building the way Sean wanted it to operate. But that's just such a weird statement to make. Like, the Saints were at the forefront of the S2 cognitive test that you hear everything about. I wrote a story about it in 2016 or 2017. Like, they were the first team using that. That's the test that CJ Stroud apparently got 18% on or whatever that everybody's talking about to evaluate quarterbacks. And that was something they were doing before everybody else. So I don't know. Like, I guess Sean's been in both places, and maybe the place that he went to that he wasn't building found the better way to do analytics, and now he's seeing that. But I think that's a commentary on him as much as anybody else, because the Saints did what Sean wanted them to do. Very, very odd comment.
It's getting aggregated right now, Nick. Like all the stories are being posted from like 30 minutes ago, like an hour ago. But yeah, he said they're on a different level here. Whatever, Sean. Make the playoffs. Bum. Derek Carr's coming for that ass. Jake, you got anything else?
I will not be watching draft
What?
day. I'm sorry.
We gotta learn about Bo Callahan.
I mean, maybe one day. Maybe just for Nick, I'll watch it one day.
God.
Look, I think maybe we need to have like a live watch of it.
We might.
That would be
yeah.
very fun.
I would actually be down for something
That would be
like
very
that.
fun.
Nick, you're going to be in New Orleans, though. You're not going up to Kansas City, right?
Yeah, no, we'll be here. The team's here. They make their picks. Mickey and DA come out. They talk to us about everything. Players calling. So yeah.
Oh man, I remember sitting in that room on airline for like freaking like 10 hours or like 8 hours straight. I hated those days. Oh, jeez. But I did talk a lot about how Oli Kikaha, who was a beast in college. I mean, an objective beast in college. I liked how Oli. Martial arts master.
The original Caden Ellis, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Nick Underhill at Nick_Underhill Nords on football site. Nick, thank you so much, man. You have an excellent day, my friend.
Yeah, take care, guys.
All right, when we get back, we got more OTB.
OTB. OT.
CentralPlumbing.org. It's org. CentralPlumbing.org. For all your plumbing needs, man. 50 years they've been at now. Nearly 50. And flat rate pricing means no BS, right? Warranty means you have peace of mind after work is done. And of course, everybody's licensed, bond insured. You can trust who's coming in your home. I've used them for simple problems. I've had entire toilets replaced at times. And the bottom line is that I leave satisfied. It's affordable. They're just the best. Don't think twice. 24/7 emergency service as well. CentralPlumbing.org.
That emergency service is not only for your home, that's for your business as well. When you go to the website, centralplumbing.org, you'll see everything they have in the full fleet right there. There's like 30 vans stacked up ready to go, but also in remodeling, right? They can handle both of those situations. Even something like if you need a new shower glass door, they can handle that at your home. But if you have a big business, they can handle that as well in the remodel game. centralplumbing.org, 225-925-8552.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Where did I do with this script, Mario? Oh. Hey, Dreams Come True Radiothon is still going on here at 104.5 ESPN, helping out one of my favorite causes. And the Baton Rouge Clinic and 104.5 ESPN bring you the Dreams Come True Radiothon, which is an organization, Dreams Come True, that helps grant dreams for children battling life-threatening illnesses and their families. The Dreams Come True Radiothon is presented today by the Baton Rouge Men's Clinic. Donate today at 1045ESPN.com. Every $5 donated, y'all, is an entry to the raffles, and we got some great raffle items. You got an Aaron and Austin Nola signed autograph, bat, ball, picture. Justin Jefferson autographed LSU helmet, and a Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase framed wall print. If you're into country music, how does going to the CMA Music Festival in Nashville, Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th. That's right, 3 days, 2 nights. And then we got a concert ticket back to see Thomas Rhett, Shinedown, Zach Bryan, Depeche Mode, Guns N' Roses, and Hardy. Again, the prizes are whatever. That's just a little nice lanyap. But Dreams Come True is incredible, man. You can't, once you meet these kids or see their families that have benefited from it, it's impossible not to be deeply, deeply touched. So go to 1045ESPN.com today and please give if you can. And shout out to everybody who, at the live auction a few weeks ago, raised a lot of money, made a lot of dreams come true. It's about $3,500 to fund a dream. So if you want to get involved, there you go. We'll revisit this a bit more later, but remember, a draft party going down to Don Juan this Thursday as well. If you want to come kick it with the boys. Jake, did you see these spring game attendances?
I did. Some large numbers, some surprising numbers for some places that, play a high level of football, but wouldn't expect the spring numbers to be where they're at.
Taylor, if you go to On3 Sports, again, their Twitter, they have a great graphic with there. It's also in the doc if you want. But I think there's a lot of interesting conversations that you can kind of spin out of this, right? So number one on this list is Ohio State at 75,000 people. Oh, and I want to be clear about this up front. I don't care about people not going to the LSU spring game. I don't want people to go to the LSU spring game. You should have better things to do than to go to a spring game, which is why I am just I can't wrap my head around how Ohio State is putting 75,000 people in that stadium when you know exactly what you're going to get. Yeah. You're going to be great. You're going to have great quarterback play. They'll throw over 40, 50 touchdowns. And now you can maybe make the joke that you're going to lose to Michigan and lose to Big Ten, but probably not. I mean, you'll probably, they've achieved a level of consistency that I'm shocked that people care enough to put 75K in for a spring game.
The most surprising to me on this list, it might be Oklahoma comes in at number 6 with 54,000, because I agree, the number 75,000, that's wild to me. Okay, you're breaking in a new quarterback.
But
okay,
you've done that plenty,
I know. I'm trying to get you there. You have a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
That's in a trial period. Brian Hartline's in a trial period. If he didn't do good this spring, he wasn't going to get it in the fall.
Oh, is that true?
That's true.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't know that.
So, okay, intrigue there. Penn State, Sean Clifford played 73 years for you. You finally get a new quarterback. Okay, you were really good last year. You were the third in your division, but you were a top 15, top 12 team in the country, maybe even higher than that. Nebraska, okay, get it. They go to everything. It's Lincoln, Nebraska. You got a new coach.
And they had the Herbie reveal. They had Matt Rule. They had Frank Solich back in the stadium. Everything we've talked about, that makes a lot of sense.
Alabama, you've had bigger numbers than this before, but also you're trying to see which one of those quarterbacks could step up. Now, none of them did in the spring game, but that's why maybe you were intrigued to go because you lose so much. You wanted to see some of the young guys, and if they could step up. Tennessee, same thing. Great season last year. Joe Milton going to take over at quarterback. So, I mean, yeah, I can get behind some of those. Oklahoma's surprising at 54,000. They were so bad a year ago.
These Oklahoma fans, I'm so sick of them trying to convince us that they're not scared or that they're happy. It's like, okay, really. I mean, they just keep yelling at me online about how, like, we're fine. Brent Venables is fine. We're going to be really good next year. Like, okay. And, yeah, look, we put 54,000 in. We're okay, sure, whatever, Oklahoma. I think you're at the beginning of potentially some really bad years here with Venables, but we'll see. But to me, Jake, it feels like, yes, Oklahoma's going out of their way to show us, no, like, we're still good.
They are. And when Dylan Gabriel was in, we were this, that, and the other. It's like you still were 3-6 in conference play. And if you brought Dylan Gabriel in, why'd you not have somebody ready to be his backup that you were creating? And you do this year. You have a 5-star prospect coming in this year, but there was more issues for Oklahoma than just Dylan Gabriel not being
defense
in
is bad, and you got a defensive coach. Like, what's going on?
I mean, what was the Texas score?
Oh, like 1,000,000.
49-0.
Yeah, literally 49.
I think was the final score there, somewhere around this. So Oklahoma's surprising to me. They can tell you that they're okay. I don't, and I know it's one bad year, but Lincoln's no longer there, and this is the first year sample size that we have, and you're about to go into a much tougher conference where week in and week out, you better be ready because you're going to get challenged every single week. You better not limp into that. I talked about it with Texas as well, Oklahoma even more so.
And I know that Oklahoma has a better geographical setup than Lincoln because who they're surrounded by, Lincoln, Nebraska, but, is Norman, Oklahoma in and of itself that different than Lincoln, Nebraska? I don't know. Georgia, 54,000. Sure, back-to-back national champs, no surprise. But how about Beamer, Jake, your boy?
Yeah.
South Kakalaka, South Carolina, putting $51K in for the spring. A couple of top 10 wins getting the people fired up.
Yeah, look, they're a fan base that if you give them something to cheer about, they are ready and willing.
Yeah.
And South Carolina certainly did at the end of last year. Right, you beat Tennessee, you beat Clemson, and you have a really nice bowl performance as well. You fell just short, but exciting bowl game, a lot of points scored. You get Spencer Rattler back. Yep. You get some really nice recruits. Now, you did lose a couple of surprising players in the portal that went to other places. Lynch, running back, he goes to USC or Lloyd, sorry. And so that was a little that's a little blow. But you brought some guys in through the portal, and so this is a big year for Shane. He's trying to get into that. Behind Georgia, it's Tennessee, South Carolina, Kentucky. Can they get into that group? Because last year at the end of the year, they were in that group, and if they can keep that going, I mean, I think Shane can really build something to their expectations, to their standard that can be special, kind of like what Spurrier did. Because remember, Shane was on that staff. He was there. He was an assistant coach during those 11-win seasons that Spurrier had. So he knows what it looks like to be a winner there and what it takes to be a winner there.
So then you have Clemson at 50K on the dot. Look, Church of Dabo remains strong. Okay, but we can all sit here and make fun of Clemson and hate on them from the outside looking in and call them a waning empire, but Clemson still fully believes in Clemson.
Did you see the story? They gave a walk-on tight end a scholarship, but some numbers got messed up and they had to take the scholarship away from the walk-on tight end to give it to a scholarship player.
Ooh. Crank up the oof meme with the guy over the mountains. That is a brutally big oof there. Wow, that's awful. I mean,
Look, it's tough.
Like, you got to drum up an NIL deal for that kid tomorrow, right? Like, you gotta be like, look, man, we're gonna get you. You know, you're not gonna pay for school.
Launder money through
something. You're not gonna be technically on scholarship. Yeah, like Dabo, you have enough money, you have to pay out of your own pocket to make sure that kid gets his school paid for. Then how about the Buffs? Coach Prime putting 53K, or excuse me, putting
47 in a 53K stadium. Yeah.
I love what he did too. He got Peggy Copham, who's a Colorado super fan, y'all. She moved to Boulder in 1940, 98 years old, in the snow. He brought her out there and she did the opening kickoff.
3-yard kick.
That's good.
No big deal.
Bro, if you can kick 3 yards at 98, you know.
2.5. The altitude gave her an extra half yard.
You're doing better. You're doing better than most if you can go out there and kick off. Wow, are you really critiquing Peggy's kick? Jesus. He's 98 years old.
I'm kidding.
But no, so that was a cool moment. He looked awesome in the cowboy hat. Taylor is somehow a Cowboys fan and yet hates Deion Sanders. I just don't understand that at all. I think Prime's going to be great. And hey, okay, let's revisit the Prime thing then. All y'all are so worried about all these transfers out. Why? They sucked.
Not all of them. Not all. They did have a freshman All-American receiver. They had a receiver that went off in the spring game. So not all of these players, because you have 38 three-star players that are transferring out. Now, I understand 80% of them were not players that meet the standard that he has. I'm worried about depth issues.
Yeah, that's
when you
fair.
lose 44 players and you only bring in 29. That's 15 spots that you're counting on if somebody goes down, for special teams, for other things. And so that's a lot of moving parts. And so just in year one.
Year one, though, because in year two, you set yourself up to oversign. Right? And then you can like really remake everything in your image.
Without question. But just know, if you go from 1 win a year ago to 4 wins, that's a massive leap. And I think Colorado fans are realistic about it. I think they are. They understand what he's taken over. But you're going to be down some bodies that at least had experience, in the Pac-12, out there playing and been on the field and gone against competition. 44 bodies is a lot to lose from your roster when you're only bringing in 29. Now, those 29.
But the average rating is like significantly better than the guys that are going out.
A little bit.
I'd say 62 versus 71 is a pretty good difference.
You lose 38 3-stars, you bring in 24. You lose 1 4-star, you bring in 3. You don't have any 5-stars leaving, you bring Travis Hunter being the 1 5-star in. So a little, the 4-star stuff probably goes, bring in 3, lose 1, probably rates those numbers up a little bit there.
And Travis Hunter.
But I'm worried about the depth there. If I'm a Colorado fan, do I have enough? Do I have enough pieces? Now, as many as they're losing, can they bring as many in these next 5 days? What can they do in the next 5 days? You might not bring in a game changer, but you can bring in somebody that can help you, because guys are going to get hurt. It's football. That is going to happen. And they looked so little. I don't know if you got a chance to watch the spring game. This was a small football team. They've got to get better in the trenches.
Remember the team meeting? It looked like a high school team standing out there. Here's what he said after the game, and this was before this all became a story about the mass exodus and everything. He said, quote, "You all know that we're going to move on from some of the team members, and we're going to reload and get some kids that we really identify with," Sanders said after the spring game. "So this process is going to be quick. It's going to be fast, but we're going to get it done." So there are more, there's going to be more additions, like you're saying, Jake, to fill out, fill in the corners of this roster. Like they're going to bring more pieces in. But to me, look, this is a process. You're coming from the 1-11 low point. Yep. Deion told you from day one, pack your bags. Like, it's actually all going according to plan. This was the exact plan. And what is the goal for Colorado? Over-under set at 4.5. If you achieve 5 wins, if you look at the schedule, if you achieve 5 wins, that's a great year one for Colorado. They got a pretty tough schedule.
Yeah, really tough schedule.
I think they're going to be hard-pressed to beat. I'm an idiot, and the day it opened up, I put a futures bet on the over 4.5 just because I got so excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, like here in year one, there is no great expectation. I don't even think bowl eligible is the expectation. I think it's win those 5 games and just look like you have a pulse, right? And because that's a team moving in the right direction. Add a little excitement.
I would just, excitement, but I would pump the brakes on maybe some of those expectations that a lot of people were saying, and I probably fell into it. I have to go back and listen, like try to get to 6 wins, try to get to a bowl game. You lost all 10 of your scholarship receivers from a year ago. And that's including like a freshman All-American. That's including Montana Lamonis Craig, who
What a great name. So many syllables.
in the game, I mean, spring game, 3 catches for 154 and a touchdown. I mean, so there's some skill there. Obviously, that's a brand new room.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever had like a brand new room, like even at the quarterback position where your numbers are like 3 or 4. So there's going to be some bumps. There's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some excitement. But this is a different level, and there's going to be some games where Colorado just gets probably ran out of the stadium, T-Bob. You have to expect that. Now, next year, when they have kind of what they want and it's all coming together and you have your roster where these numbers, maybe they flip, right? You're bringing in more than you're losing. The expectation is going to change. But for this year, 4 wins, that's a big lead.
4 wins feels like the most realistic play. And again, if you get to 5, I think that's a success. But I guess my more overall point is, like, this is how the sausage is made. People are trying to paint it like Deion's lost control of the team or this is some sort of commentary against Prime. Like, no, he told you from day one this was the plan.
Doesn't mean it's the right way.
No, but it is his
But he
plan,
did say
though.
that that's what he was going to do.
Yeah, that's a very good point. You're right. I'm not saying that it's right, but I just don't get why people are acting like this is catching him unaware when he told me like from the beginning that this was going to happen. Now, the syllable guy, that was a bit unexpected because
Montana Lamonis Craig.
Yes, because Shadur Sanders actually got on Instagram Live afterwards and talking about crooked ways and was very upset that Lamonis Craig was leaving. All right, when we get back, more OTB. Then we got a little Ask the Bench coming up after that. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
OTB, OT.
All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Join me in the All-Star family. Like I told you, dude, the other day, a vehicle needed to get towed, bring it to All-Star, and it was to drop, they're closed, right? But I didn't have to go there, Jake, right? Tow truck dropped it off, put the keys in the drop box. Monday, I get a text, blah, blah, here's what needs to be done. Bada bing, bada boom. Car's ready by like 1 in the afternoon. It's just an incredible level of service from Tommy Wagaspack and the excellent service team over there. So join the All-Star family right there off of Airline Highway.
Yeah, you really should. Even if it's buying new, if it's buying pre-owned, if it's leasing, even if it's just joining the team for 3 days because you're renting a Toyota, you're going to walk away satisfied. You're going to walk away with a vehicle experience that, look, not everybody can drive the minivan like T-Bob does, right? But you can try it, and you should try it. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
All right, let's say ah. Where'd my spotlight go? Super weird. but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event.
Hey, someone join me for Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Glenn West talking Tigers. They get ready for Nicholls State. And Sharif Ishak on the Saints draft. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Will arise in our lives, but you gotta be smart about it. Celebrations with the guys I sacrificed, 'cause I knew you could not sleep without it. Meanwhile, I loved you. You were my girl. You see, I thought the world of you, but you're so steady, baby.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back, OTB. By the way, Colorado's over-under down to 3.5 now.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. I mean, Greg Lamont says in the chat, is he one guaranteed win on the Buffs schedule? Ask Jake, how good will Arizona State, Stanford, Oregon State, and Washington State be? That's the season right there. Yeah, that's the problem is, now, I don't know what's going on in Stanford. David Shaw's out, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You're crazy, but not for that.
Yeah. Who is in, though? I know Dillingham's in Arizona State, which is kind of exciting.
Stanford, what's the guy's name? They went and got a very, how do I say this respectful, unexciting hire. There was a lot of names that were attached to that job. But
looks like
Troy Taylor.
Yeah, there you go.
I could not think of Troy Taylor's name. He's from Sacramento State, if I'm not mistaken. That's where he came from. And so, and look, Troy Taylor might be a hell of a football coach. That sounded real disrespectful. I didn't mean for it to be, but I'm saying they went to the FCS level to get their coach. And so,
which may be a smart play. I don't know. But I will say this: I do know that Oregon State and Washington State should be markedly better than Colorado. Oregon State was awesome last year.
Yeah.
And
they got DJU coming from Clemson.
Wazoo was actually really good as
Salty.
well.
Yeah,
tough team. Who's their head coach? He's another guy like DeBoer who has won a ton at lower levels. Who's their head coach? I liked him last year, but it might be getting
Jake Dickert.
I might be getting him and Lance Leipold's resumes confused, or maybe Dickert.
No.
Let me get a Wikipedia
Jake
check.
Dickert had never been a head coach, but he had been at smaller places. So he was at the Dakotas. Anytime you're at the Dakotas, you got some street cred out there at the lower level. He was at all the Dakotas. As now I pull it up, he was a GA and a safeties coach at North Dakota State. He was a special teams coordinator at South Dakota. He was also the co-special teams coordinator safeties at South Dakota State. So he's got them. He's all the Dakotas.
That was blue collar right there, Bo. And that Wazoo team reflected that. That was a blue collar football team up in Pullman last year. So yeah, no, I think Colorado would be hard pressed to catch up to both those teams.
Yeah, I don't look. Those two teams, certainly Oregon State. Oregon State's like
really,
top 25.
Yeah, they don't deserve to be in this conversation at all.
No, they don't. Cal's bad. I mean, does Cal still want to play sports at this level?
I don't know.
That's the question you have to ask yourself.
I feel about Stanford, actually, a little
bit. And it's fair, which is crazy considering some of the guys they've put into the NFL and some of the seasons that they've had. But I mean, it's fair. But Cal, like your athletic department, the money that you're losing, and just the no desire to be any good. Last year, you were 4-8, 2-7 in the Pac-12. In Arizona, and like Jed Fish, like they were better. They were 5-7. I don't know that Colorado's above where they're at, and Arizona was very active. Now, Arizona State was as active as anyone in the portal not named Colorado.
Yeah.
As far as players that they brought in.
Well, and Dillingham's exciting in terms of what he's done recently. Youngest coach now in the Power 5. So, look, the road looks really tough for Colorado, but I do think that this is all going to Prime's plan. Whether it works out or not into going into the future, we will see. Hey, come out this Thursday, Don Juan Cigar Bar. We're doing a little draft party. It's going to be a ton of fun. Mario, is there anything on the official read that I'm missing here that I need to get into?
Brought to you by Rouse's, right? Our team will break down all the picks, trades, and moves inside one of the biggest nights in sports. Come out to Rouse's, the ESPN Baton Rouge draft party. Thursday at 7 p.m. live from Don Juan Cigar Bar. Or watch on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel.
And if, if you're in Kansas City and you're not in Baton Rouge, you're listening to us because maybe you're an LSU fan up in Kansas City, you can come see me and the SiriusXM team, Taps on Main. But if you're in Baton Rouge, come to Don Juan's.
Wow, dude. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, if they're in Kansas City, they can't make it to Don Juan's.
We got a ton going on. We got a ton going on. I agree.
Island Hanny may or may not make an appearance.
Oh, my God. I love Island Hanny.
I hope so.
Love Island Hanny. If Island Hanny is there, even if you're in Kansas City, drive down to Baton Rouge.
All right, we got to go to break. And when we get back, we'll do a little Ask the Bench.
OTB, OT.
Go to Riverlands Insurance, riverlandsinsurance.com. Thomas and Megan email continue to just produce satisfied customer after satisfied customer. They're the best, man. I mean, we just seems like we're getting these testimonials every day now. And I love the last one where the guy said he literally called during the commercial, right? So listen right now. Get your phone out. Get your phone out right now and just type this in. And if you're busy right now, you can save for later. 225-206-1517. That's Thomas's cell phone number. Call him. Give him the information he needs, and then he puts the right policy. I mean, he does the shopping. They save you money. They keep the coverage they need, and it's any type of insurance, y'all. Riverlands Insurance.
225-206-1517. Like T said, you can literally call that right now, and Thomas is going to answer. You can call 10 minutes from now, 20 minutes from now. It doesn't matter. He is going to answer that phone, help you out today. Call Thomas, email today.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit Dreams Come True, the local organization that grants dreams to Louisiana kids suffering life-threatening illnesses and their families. We've interviewed these incredible kids, and their stories warm our hearts. And none of it would be possible without your help. So we're asking for your support in our effort to making more dreams come true. Each year, our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today, and thank you.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level. with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR. LSU and Nichols at the box. We're previewing the game. We'll continue our SEC spring recaps, counting you down to the NFL draft. Join us 3 to 6, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Saturday, y'all. Welcome back to OTB. Do remind you to go to Rejuve Me Medical. Do a little upkeep on your body, man. Same thing you do in your car, your computer, your home, whatever. As we get older, you age, you need to feel better. Rejuve Me can help you do that. Give you that youthful, rejuvenated, energetic feeling, and it's with this plan that's customized for you, which I think is so important, right? It's not, you're not going to be shoehorned into something that's made for somebody else. They draw your labs, get that free consultation. And Drake, in the drawing of these labs, have actually saved lives before. That is not exaggeration. Found things that were medical issues that later it ends up, you kind of headed them off at the past. So there's a lot of benefits to at least going and having the conversation. And they're in Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, Shreveport now as well. Rejuve Me Medical, restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. Ask the Bench, brought by Cold Curse Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. Boys to Men or All for One?
This one's easy. Look, the All for One, John Michael Montgomery covers are bangers, but come on, Boys to Men. We don't even talk anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of. I don't think I've heard of All for One.
We don't even know what we argue about.
Boys to Men.
Boys to Men.
As a bench.
Yeah.
I'm honestly unfamiliar with the other group.
All for One. Me too. I Swear. From Just Friends. Yeah.
Yeah, Boys.
You know it, T-Bob. It's in the Ryan Reynolds movie, Just Friends, where he's singing it.
No, T-Bob.
The beginning of it. Yeah. Okay, yes, I do know that song.
Yeah. T-Bob don't know a lot of music. I'm surprised by this man a lot of the time.
No. As the Bench, I'm kind of above him, kind of too smart for it. Best Keanu Reeves movie, Matrix 1.
Whoa.
I'm not going to tell anybody else.
Point Break.
But Matrix 1.
I'm going to go Speed, him and Sandra Bullock.
Go one.
Hell yeah.
Go one.
Definitely Matrix.
Part
1.
Have y'all seen Point Break? A little too old probably for y'all.
Yeah. I've
You've seen it? Yeah, Patrick Swayze. Yeah.
Another Superstation special.
Yeah.
I would like to sit down and watch it all the way through. I love the Richard Nixon mask when they robbed the bank. Ask the Bench, Sonic Footlong Coney or anything at Arby's?
I don't know
that I've had either.
Footlong Coney's awesome.
It's great. I love it. I got
Arby's
guarantee
Arby's.
Arby's.
Good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Curly fries.
Yeah.
The cheese sticks at Arby's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the curly fries are superior to everything else, I think.
They're good. They sell them in the grocery store too, and if you got a fryer at home, they taste pretty close to at the restaurant.
Ask T-Bob, was that you in the movie Artemis Fowl? I have a bet that was you. No, I've never seen Artemis Fowl. I don't know much about it. Bobby Hotep says Bill and Ted for his favorite Keanu Reeves movie.
It's an excellent adventure.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they do a third one recently?
Probably. I think they did, actually.
I don't know.
Replacements is funny, too.
Oh, I was like, why are people talking about Replacements? Yeah, duh, yeah.
Yeah.
John Favreau, legend in the Replacements. I agree, though. Matrix was a game changer, dude. I think about, you know me, I love Matrix Reloaded, and especially the 30-minute action scene, but the first Matrix movie, I don't know as a kid that I ever had a movie blow my mind so much. I used to just watch it on repeat, trying to grasp all the kind of implications of it and the special effects. And my God, the dojo fight scene.
Sure.
Between Lawrence Fishburne and Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love it as much as you, but you can be impressed by that. But I am a meathead, so give me Johnny Utah.
No, that's fine.
Break.
No, I'm not saying I'm not saying this against Point Break. I'm just
No. I know. I get why you would
Yeah.
say Matrix. That scene is incredible.
John Wick's great.
Oh God, yeah, John Wick.
No,
recent
Bravo
banger
for sure, but
recent banger. All 4 of them.
I still haven't seen 4.
It's a lot like the other 3 and still awesome.
We'll see you tomorrow here at OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook. Okay, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. If you use the promo code Baton Rouge, you do that $5 pregame moneyline bet. Can't be during the game, okay? Even though DraftKings is great live betting, but $5 pregame moneyline bet. If it hits, you get $150 in free bets, and then in bonus bets. Excuse me. And then never forget that that's for new customers. If you're a returning customer, every single day during the NBA playoffs, given that DraftKings is a official sports betting partner of the NBA, every single day you get a no-sweat same-game parlay where if your parlay doesn't hit, you get up to $10 back. So just stack these $10 no-sweat same-game parlays. DraftKings Sportsbook app, promo code Baton Rouge, must be 21 or older, physically present in Louisiana, select parishes only. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Opt-in required. One bonus bet issued based on amount of initial losing NBA bet. Eligibility, wagering, deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball. License partner, Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambler problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426.